Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Heroes Lounge Nexus Rumble. We're here for the Rumble Rewind, where some of our previous teams will go head to head from the Nexus Rumble. Transparent, you're going to be joining me this evening. Welcome. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Yes, this is the end of Nexus Rumble Season 1, Season 13 Nexus Rumble, whatever you want to call it. This is our finale, our grand finale, to see who is actually going to be crowned the Nexus Rumble champion. Yeah, we've had such a great season in the lower series here, as we're about to have Norweaklings versus VIP. These guys, they've been going on for... They've done so well. I mean, Karis, we've had 11 weeks now. This is the 12th week of the Nexus Rumble. Have you enjoyed the Nexus Rumble?
I've definitely enjoyed it. I mean, it's been really interesting because you see a real mix of things from the teams. I mean, we've seen some really dominant teams, some of whom we're going to see tonight, in fact, like Probius. But you've also seen a bit of back and forth as well, particularly in the lower Rumble. So a real contest that's been going on. And what's really impressed me is the intensity with which these teams contest this and how much they want to be the Nexus Rumble champion week in and week out.
Yeah, and that is exactly why I've brought Norweaklings back to face the vacation in Purgatory this week. Because Norweaklings, they were just champions for 1 week. And this means that, you know, they only had a brief period, but they really wanted to be on top. But they were knocked out by laser sharks, and every week they're like, "Can we come back?" I was like, "Not yet, Norweaklings, not yet. You will have a time." And so yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. These two teams are doing so well, and Vacation and Purgatory, as you said, just snuck in the end. We've had 11 different teams being played. I mean, that was always going to happen no matter what. But yeah, some of these only 1 or 2 wins. Farum and Ara have to have a special mention for having the longest streak of 3 wins. They did exceptionally well. I would have had them both back if I could, but Norweaklings had just been begging for that second opportunity. And here we are. We see them coming in.
Yeah, absolutely great to see Norweaklings back here. So we are going to go soon into our first map of our best of 3 series tonight. So both of tonight's games will be best of 3 series. And we've already had some map bans, so we're going to take a look at those now. And you can see here that Battlefield of Eternity and Towers of Doom were banned by the Norweaklings. But their opponents, Vacation and Purgatory, have banned Sky Temple and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And we are going to go to Infernal Shrines, the most popular map in Heroes Lounge, for game number 1. Transparent, what does that tell you about what we're going to see in tonight's series?
Yeah, well, it just means it's a bit of a basic map, as we all know. We all love this map. It's a lounge favourite, but I expect that means we're going to have some stellar compositions. Now, a little bit of extra history that these two teams will be facing off tomorrow in the main series of Heroes Lounge Season 13 Epic Cup playoffs. So they may be just trying to hide some strategies a little bit this weekend. But as you said, they also could be bringing out the good stuff. But yeah, as we had VIP ban out BOE and Towers of Doom, 2 maps they don't really want to play on. Whereas the Luxorian maps banned out by Norweaklings means that, yeah, we're left with sort of these sort of larger open maps, sort of also including Volskaya in there, still available. But yeah, good 4-man rotation maps, just like this one. Infernal Shrines, very good stuff.
Yeah, the Luxorian map's banned out. I hadn't thought of it like that. It's absolutely true. Although Dragonshire's still in there, so we could still head over to Luxoria for. Is Dragonshire in Luxoria? I claim it is.
No, I don't think it is.
We're going into the draft to not correct me. And here we are in the draft on Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, indeed we are. Yeah, Infernal Shrines, obviously one of the Diablo-based maps, if we're doing all the lore of the maps. Now,
I think this is in Luxoria as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Diablo is in Luxoria. I think everywhere's in Luxoria, when you think about it hard enough. No, it's yeah, we've got a little bit different. Now, the bans are going to be interesting. We have, I think I've popped these things the wrong way around, Karis. If you can just swap them around. We do have Vacation and Purgatory actually on the left-hand side, where they will be looking to see what they can get out of their special pool. Because Azok is well known for his Lili play, and they have another couple of one tricks also up their sleeve. One of them, I believe, is Orphea, and Norweaklings have already said no to that.
Ah, so it's, yes, as you say, Vacation and Purgatory here on the left and Norweaklings on the right. Yeah, so I mean, Kerrigan ban on Infernal Shrine, not too surprising. She is strong here, but is that a targeted ban against the Norweaklings?
Yeah, I believe so. They've sort of shown good prowess with Kerrigan in the past, and it's just one of those heroes that you have to watch out for all the time. And with an Imperious follow-up, it's just really brutal to be able to play into. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they can do there. But here we are, the start of the draft. We have Cassia being the first pick for Norweaklings. That's been a priority pick a little bit for them, but not so much recently. So it's good to see that. And there is the Lili with the Johanna. So many blind heroes already picked.
Yeah, blind synergy, of course, but the Cassia has already gone. So I guess these were more denies to stop Cassia synergizing with that blind value there. Is that the approach you think they're taking there?
Yeah, quite possibly. These guys, you know, if you get one blind and you have the Cassia, and with that AoE burst of light that she has on level 7, it can mean a heck of a lot of damage for the people around you. So, getting that out of the way, but we have the Tyrael-Lucio combo, the speed boys, as I like to call them, as they tend to speed around all the time.
Yeah, and don't forget Lucio's self-movement speed buffs stack with other movement speed buffs from Tyrael, for example, whereas for most heroes in the game, movement speed does not stack. So what you end up with a Lucio and a Tyrael is a very speedy Lucio flying around like a mosquito, really sucking on the blood of his opponents. And I think if you don't have enough CC, Lucio can get a lot of value in that situation. And so far, Joanna, yes, she's got the Blessed Shield, but she'll have to hit that on Lucio. Otherwise, he might just be a real nuisance for Vacation and Purgatory to deal with.
Yeah, and these guys, yeah, they've had a little bit of difference here. Sonya being banned out, now that's a big sort of favourite of my team, I must admit, and having the Sonya on this shrine means that you get a lot of self-sustain on the shrine, and they can all be very good.
Yeah, here's a Gazlo pickup here. Gazlo been certainly very popular in Storm League since the buffs. Whoa, let's park that for 1 second, because out comes the Butcher, transparent. And oh, look, what a draft to go with him. Now look, he's against 2 blinds though, so he's got to be a bit careful. But he does have that Lucio, and of course the Tyrael. Watch out for the Sanctification when Butcher comes in as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is sort of shows how big fans Norweaklings are of the Nexus Rumble. I've been saying week on, week out, I want to see the Butcher. Bring me the Butcher. I will cheer for you every step of the way. And there we have it. The Butcher is here. I'm going to be backing Norweaklings every time in this map when they've picked the Butcher. But will they be able to do something against the team? You're absolutely right. And now Supernova has a chance to maybe think, maybe I'll pick up the Artanis, ? Just to top it off would be my perfect match to start off this Rumble Rewind.
It is! Are you tuned into their comms here, Transparent?
Yeah, I mean, that's just bringing me so much joy here to have these guys. They've got the triple blind against the Butcher. But we do have the Butcher, and the fact that it's picked material means it's gonna be super good with the Sanct to be able to give it, and maybe instead of Sound Barrier, we'll have Cleanse to get rid of the blinds. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that's asking too much. I know you're a fan of High Five, Lucio. That would just make the perfect match. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. What's your favorite team here, Karis?
Well, it's got to be that Butcher Tyrael combination there. I mean, look, it's so all in. Here's a thing that the Norweaklings have got to be wary of, though, is grab a bomb. What if they pile in? They've got the Butcher, the Cassia, the Thrall, and the Tyrael, and the Lucio all in there, all up in the grill of VIP. But then, bang, a grab bomb. They'll be so clumped, so vulnerable to that. Now, if Tyrael can get the Sanctification off in time, maybe it won't be a problem. But it'll all come down to who can execute first.
Yep, and we will have to see who is the better executor at our first match of the Nexus Rumble Rewind here, and we have our current champions of the Rumble. Yes, it is the Vacation in Purgatory. In the blue, we've got Azok 533 on his well-known Lily, level 13 Warlock on the Gazlo, Shady Gamer on Lunara, Supernova on Artanis, and Stutzeriko on Johanna.
And in the red corner, challenging them, we have the Norweaklings with Bokken on the Butcher. We have Tommy here on the Cassia, Muteki on the Lucio, and Fantanal on the Lucio, Muteki there on the Cassia. Hedront on the Thrall, and that is, I believe, the Norweaklings.
Yes, it is indeed. Yeah, we've got them clashing here already in the mid lane. Artanis is sent to the top lane, so will Bokken be able to get all the minions he's ever wanted to try and get those bits of meat that make the Butcher so powerful? We see he's gone for the chop meat at level 1, so we'll be trying to rotate to get that meat, so importantly, from the minions.
Well, that's another thing. Don't forget that in the Shrine phase as well, that will allow Butcher to clear those Shrine Guardians very quickly and maybe steal away some kills. But you've got to be careful here in the early game. Of course, Butcher isn't stacked yet, isn't going to be stacked for a while as well. So it's all about how much Butcher can rotate, get that meat up and running. As we've said, currently running at 16 meat, but they will need kills really to get the meat in a timely manner. Now, whether they're going to set up ganks for that, bush ganks to trap, or whether they're going to wait until the Shrine phase and look to win a fight there, only time will tell.
Now, I think, as we know, that 7 minions spawn each wave, and the Butcher needs 200 meats. That's approximately 29 waves that he needs to catch. That was some quick maths there. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 29 waves. So that'd be quite some time, as you say, before he gets that meat stacked. Meanwhile, I was just going to say, 29 waves. If he's doing mid and bottom, I know there's a wave every 30 seconds in each of those. Quick maths on that, that's 14.5 times 30, so it's about 7 or 8 minutes if he just stacks on minions. Yeah, which, is actually the early half of the game, and he could just spend the early part of the game doing that and he would be absolutely fine. So those people who hate on the Butcher, I think we've done the maths here today. It's a reasonable pick, and the Norweaklings are going to make it work. We go forward now already to level 4, and we've not really had any spicy action yet in this match. Every player, every team is just taking it patiently. Tussarika looking perhaps for the gank there on the mid lane, but not able to get anything in.
It's very difficult as well. That's one of the advantages of a Tyrael Lucio combat. It's very difficult to gank any members of Norweaklings if they've got Lucio or Tyrael with them. Obviously, Tyrael giving those shields, but also the movement speed, and Lucio's giving movement speed as well if needed, and the heals. They're going to be very slippery. The danger is for someone who's out on their own, like Thrall in that top lane, or Butcher in that bottom lane, trying to get that meat. They're the ones who's got to be careful. In fact, Bokken goes to contest his bottom camp, possibly 1v2, but no, in comes Tommy Gun on the Tyrael. They want to charge in, they want to catch the Lily. Out comes the blind, there blind both of them. Azok 533 falling a little bit low, but she is Lily, has those fast feet, will scarp her out of the way of that damage.
Yeah, what we do need to be sort of aware of is that although there's a lot of blinds on the team of Vacation in Purgatory, they can very easily overlap in a sort of a panic. They could just throw out the blinding winds and the blinding light, and it's just not going to be effective for very long in those team fights. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes on in the later half of the game, as it looks like the Weaklings have realised they're weaker in this early stage and are just farming the camps and looking to do other things on the map while they can, as blue team, take this first objective.
Yeah, I think that's the right call here from Norweaklings. They need to get that butcher meat up and running. Currently at 67, and of course we're going to keep a real close eye on this meat level because that's so crucial to how these teams want to play this. And I think what we might see, is a rotation from VIP, but Lily's coming a little bit too aggressively. Has she though? The fast feet is there, the medallion, she might get away. Tyrael goes in, wants to deliver the finishing blow, but she's down to 100 HP, chasing round and round the garden, but actually now Tyrael's the one under pressure because Lily's healing herself, throwing out the blinding wind, catching on to Tyrael. Tommy Gunn's still alive here with a little bit of heal, and the speed from Lucio. How is he alive? How is he escaping here, Transparent?
I do not know, and I thought that blinding wind was going for Tommy Gun, but no, it hit Fantanal and Bokken, and he is able to get out. Header on, looking to get on Shady Gamer, but unable to land the route as Shady Gamer dodges weaves away very nicely done here from both teams. But while all that was happening, Artanis is getting that Punisher, and a Mortar Punisher is going to be pushing down this top lane all by itself right now. So Norweaklings have to come and defend, as blue team now have free reign on the rest of the map.
Yes, and they are going to use that to take the camp away from Norweaklings, maybe put a little bit of pressure on Thrall, but he's headruns there, safely soaking in those towers. Not too much danger there. And yeah, they will clear this Punisher without too much trouble. I mean, great medallion use by Lily, we have to say, by Azak 533 to stay alive. I mean, that Tyrael versus Lily chase, that's the stuff that dreams are made of. I mean, and of course, like you said, the blinding wind didn't quite connect. I think, and that's one of the dangers, of course, of Lily, is you can't aim your abilities. It picks the nearest targets, and so with a bit of aggressive positioning from their opponents, they can steal away. And it'll be the same if she goes for Water Dragon at level 10. Although I suspect she will go for the Jugs.
Yeah, Lily's Jugs are just so incredible at keeping people up and alive, and they have to be careful though. I'm expecting Lamb to the Slaughter as the level 10 for Butcher, and if he can land that on Lily before she gets Jugs off, or as Jugs are going, it's going to be negated, as well as one of those blinds obviously being silenced. But we'll have to wait and see what they go for at that point. As again, 0-0 in the kills. This match is getting tense, even without the direct action happening all the time.
Yeah, and it's going to change. It's going to hot up when they get to level 10, which they just have. Tyrael has the Sanctification in straight away. Ball lining from Cassia. Joanna does the blinding light here. Checks that bush, steps back. And of course, Lamb to the Slaughter for Butcher. So that could be crucial, because of course, if Lily gets caught in that, then she won't be able to get that Jugs value, and will just die. Of course, Lily depends on being able to cast to stay alive, and of course to move. The thing is, though, it's the Lamb to the Slaughter is kind of easily counterable by Medallion. So Medallion of courage usage in this match may prove absolutely critical. The timing of that, because of course it's got a huge cooldown, so they don't want to waste it. But if they can dodge a Lamb with it, then that might be game changing.
Yeah, they can dodge a Lamb, but can they dodge a Water Dragon? It is not Jugs, it is indeed Water Dragon. Here comes Lamb to Slaughter. It is silence on Lily. There is the Invulnerable, the Sanctification putting out so much damage, able to get all of the blue team poked so low, but now they're escaping. Lily is trying to keep them up just with those Jugs on the Q button, and red team have to walk away after popping so many heroics. Well, they're all popped on the other side as well. So Earthquake being the most significant heroic available in the next 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, what can red team do as they popped all their long cooldowns, which are much longer than the enemies?
Yeah, the Sanctification in particular. So we saw the Sanct get huge value there against the Grab, exactly as we were talking about. But of course, the Grab is going to be back in 20 seconds from now, whereas Sanct is still on cooldown for another 60, and that gives a window there, a window of opportunity to let in a little bit of fresh air here for VIP, and may give them the chance to punish Norweaklings if they can engage during that window, which I assume Norweaklings will try to stop. But amazingly, it's still a 0-0 game here, Transparent. There's been so many near kills in this game already, and we're only 8 minutes in.
And that is how you know that this is the best that the lowest series of the NEXUS Rumble has to offer, when the kills just aren't being done, because both teams just playing expertly around each other. But we see a little bit of aggression going on to Johanna here. The rest of the red team trying to stack up as many shrine minions now, stealing them away from the blue team. I think this is going to be where we get our first kills, Karis. This is hotting up for sure.
Yeah, it is. And of course, Butcher's got ridiculously good shrine clear here, even without having been stacked, because he's got those Q talents level 1 and 4. Now Tyrael goes to provide a little bit of space. Just keep Artanis on his toes, using the Earthquake to zone. That's nice. Butcher charges in, but Joanna has the Iron Skin. She steps back for now. Blind comes in from Artanis. That's one of their many blinds used. But he's happy for now, the Butcher, to just keep working on those shrines. They're up to 30 out of 40. And now Joanna comes in. She wants to take the engage, Transparent.
Yep, and the Gaslight pops off the combo. It's on Thrall. Thrall gets swapped back out, but there's the Sanctification on the Butcher, on Thrall. They get 2 kills. Yep, and they're chasing after Supernova. He pops his medallion. Thrall is looking to try and chase him down. Maybe he has a root coming up soon. There's the root, and there's the 3rd kill. Yes, from 0-0, we now have 3-0 in favour of Norweaklings.
And that's all the meat. That's all the meat the Butcher needed. He's on 200 meat now, and he is ready to start hunting. So he's going to start with a camp. That's safely enough. But then, now that's the thing is, bear in mind, that was a fight that VIP lost with Butcher not being stacked. Now he's stacked. what are they going to do? It's going to be really difficult for them, given that it was, given that they've lost that fight before that. And Butcher now, suddenly, he's a hero. Suddenly, he's got more than just the 2 disabled. He's got the auto attacks. Having said that, the auto attacks aren't the end of the world, because you've got Artanis with the blind, you've got Lily with the blind, Joanna with the blind, and of course, Artanis has blocked for himself as well at level 1. So he's not too worried, Joanna's not too worried, Lily's not too worried. But if Lunara gets caught, or if Lily gets lammed and can't run around, they will die pretty fast.
Yeah, and it's not just about getting those kills, Karis. Butcher's attack damage also does additional damage. Well, not additional damage, but also does damage to structures. So it's not something to be discounted when they're looking to get those split pushes, perhaps around the objectives, perhaps in different places, just to get that additional damage and even close out the game if they're going for core. So really well done here from Bokken of Norweaklings to get this stacked up. Now they've got a 2-level lead. They could run away with this game if Vacation and Purgatory aren't careful.
They're looking for a gank here. Bokken goes in with the charge onto Gazlo. Gazlo has the grab bomb available, so Butcher's got to be a little bit careful. Gazlo did use his medallion, though, to walk away from that. Yes, yes, he's safe as houses. That's good for him. But now that's a 5-minute cooldown, and Butcher's ready to charge again right now. Has that lamp up available as well, and the 16 is knocking on the door.
Yeah, and it looks like Red Team are positioning to maybe try and get a bit of siege damage here, as it is the Shrine in the bot lane. They're probably going to focus the 4 and maybe try and get this healing fountain as well, but no, they're just focusing the 4 for now. So that's the Rika coming in to disrupt this push and say, no, you're not coming in here, taking our fort just yet. We're going to clear this wave with ease. But level 16's here now for Norweaklings, and they should have free reign of the map pretty much wherever they want to go.
Yes, and that's something that VIP are going to be pretty scared about. I mean, you talk about how do we handle a Butcher. You'd say one of the answers might be blind, and they've got blinds coming out of their ears, but that's just not enough so far to deal with Bokken. Of course, let's not forget, he's not the one that's been doing all the damage so far. That is Cassia with 20,000 hero damage so far in this game. But now Butcher stack, we're going to watch that hero damage tick up a little bit more, and the same with Thrall as well, once he comes more into these 5v5s and it's less in the solo lane. So Headrunt and Bokken are the two players to watch in the latter half of this game, having been escorted there nicely by their teammates.
Yeah, and we see the lightning, the ball lightning coming out from Cassia, which is really nice to see against this triple melee composition that Vacation and Purgatory have. So that's going to be good value. But I really like what Vacation and Purgatory did there. They were behind on levels. They knew they couldn't really defend top, but they got the healing well and the fort in the bot lane where the next shrine is going to be. So well played from them. But can Norweaklings set up the other camp for this shrine to get that additional macro pressure and maybe get a little bit of priority in their positioning?
Yeah, I think Norweaklings are starting to look quite confident in terms of the map positioning here. They've got the 2 forts to 1 advantage. They have the structural advantage. Sorry, they have the structural disadvantage in the lane of this objective, of course, which is maybe a bit of a problem though because of this tap. Now, the problem, of course, for VIP is they need that level 16, and I think they can get it in time, but they've got to be careful about how they do it because Butcher's going to be on the prowl, looking to find anybody even slightly out of position and punish that with the lamb or with the charge.
Yeah, and now they are already getting these shrine minions there, chomping them down. Butcher is cutting them down like there's nothing in the way, almost one-hitting them straight away. And that just means that they are biding their time. As Blue Team now picked up level 16, what can they do? What can they do to disrupt this Red Team, who are already seeming to run away with this game? But Blue Team have a good advantage. Can they find the weakness that Norweaklings has?
They're going to step in. Joanna goes in. She has the Blessed Shield available. Tyrell's falling down to half health. He still has his Sanctification and he's ready to pop it when the time's right. But he doesn't want to get caught in a grab bomb or in a Blessed Shield and have it interrupted. So Tyrell just trying to flirt with the enemy at the moment and create space for his team to secure that shrine, and they have. And now Joanna's a little bit exposed. In comes the blind though from Artanis, perfectly timed to stop most of that auto attack damage from Joanna, but it won't stop the ball lightning damage. And there's a massive stun here from the Gazlo, but it's too little, too late. Artanis will fall as well. So there's 2 kills for nothing, and of course they've secured themselves that Frozen Punisher going in the bot lane.
Yeah, they got Frozen Punisher pushing in the bot and a camp in the top lane. It's being taken out by towers slowly, but surely a little bit, and Lunar is there to answer it. But now, this Frozen Punisher, that will disable the buildings. We've got no big blind from Artanis, and there's no Johanna for another 20 seconds. So the Red Team can do as much as they can here and probably get the keep, especially with the building being disabled.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, this is where the Butcher's siege damage may become very important, because he will just chop through this keep. Look at this auto attack damage on this keep. Chop, chop, chop. And it's going to go down very quickly. And I'm not sure how exactly the VIP team are going to be able to deal with this once this keeps walking. Joanna, no iron skin here. He may get caught as well. Absolutely deleted. That was a full health Joanna with an iron skin, and she just got shredded down by the combination of Butcher, Cassia, and Thrall. And here's the sanctification. They want to go all the way. There's a sound barrier as well. They're going to try and push core here. GG's already been called by their opponent, 48% and falling. Game number 1, transparent, goes to Norweaklings.
Yeah. The challengers of the Nexus Rumble, the lower series, they have taken this game number 1 with vengeance, saying that we deserved to be here. We deserved to stay in the Nexus Rumble, and they have taken map 1 on Infernal Shrines.
Absolutely incredible.
I mean, what a game number 1 here. We've got everything I wanted. For those who might have just joined from the lovely raid that Dino did here, this is the Nexus Rumble lower series. Yeah, it's been a winner stays on tournament that we've had in Heroes Lounge of divisions 5 to 7, and basically what's happened is here our champions, Vacation in Purgatory, have lost game number 1 to Norweaklings, who came out with a Butcher composition, which has made me so happy as I've asked for it week on, week out. Have I not, Karis?
You've been wanting the Butcher, and he has delivered. And hopefully in games 2 and 3 we'll get the baker and the candlestick maker as well. So no, I mean and they had the blinds, and they would, on VIP they were probably feeling like they had it under control, because they had those triple blinds, they had a block on Artanis, and I just felt like they maybe didn't punish Norweaklings enough early game. And so then once Butcher got stacked, it kind of became a bit more easy for Norweaklings. So it was a tough situation for VIP once Butcher got stacked, for sure.
Yeah, and they did so well, Norweaklings. They made sure they got the rotations early to just get that little bit of extra meat. There was no kills going on. They were playing super safe in the early half, which is exactly what they needed to do. And they did it so well. We just love to see it. We love to see a Butcher comp, and we love to see it played so well there by Bokken as well.
So great play there from the Norweaklings. And of course, that was just game number 1 in this best of 3 series, which isn't even the only best of 3 series we have on tonight here at the Heroes Lounge. Nexus Rumble, because of course later on after this series we'll have the Upper Rumble. And do we know any secrets about that, Transparent?
Well, we don't know any secrets, although I can reveal that a baby Houdini will be playing, but for which team, we don't know just yet. But Food for Phobius, who have been on the top of the leaderboard for 7 weeks, Karis. 7 weeks they have been our Nexus Rumble champions. Can they finally be taken down?
Well,
it's gonna be close.
That all depends on who their opponents are, which of course is still a secret. But
yeah, they've been doing so well week in, week out here. And I'm not quite sure what's going on a little bit. Sorry, I've just got a little bit confused. But Nexus Rumble lower series here right now. And as I said, we've had people come in and come out. Norweaklings, they were, I think, week number 3, they were the champ. Week number 2, they were our second champions. And they've been avid fans of the Nexus Rumble for non-stop. And it's just great to see them here, back once again.
Back once again with the Heroes Lounge Masters. And, so there's lots of exciting things potentially in this series as well. So I believe we have a map pick here for game number 2, and we are going to go to Brax's Holdout. Now, who picked that map for us, Transparent?
This was picked by the Norweaklings. They jokingly picked it earlier in our little I'm not sure what you call the draft chat. So now, they've picked it for certain. They wanted this earlier, and I'm sure they've got something in mind to see what they want to do. Because if you pick Brax's Holdout, you must have something definitely up your sleeves for the top lane. And they pulled out the Butcher game number 1. Really interested to see what they might do. Something a bit flashy, as we like to see in the Nexus Rumble.
Yeah. it should be, something could be interesting here on Braxis Holdout. Of course, that means that the Vacation in Purgatory picked that first pick. I mean, what do we think they might be planning to use that first pick for? Do they have a specific hero in mind?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'd like to see Phoenix here to maybe eliminate the Zergrave. So, here we go. The draft of Braxis Holdout. As Norweaklings try to steal the Nexus Rumble champion title away from Vacation in Purgatory.
Yes, we will see how that goes. So, first bans are going to come in. We're expecting something maybe targeting those solo lane picks here for the bans. But we could also see priority kind of target picks against target bans against each team. Look, there's the Rexar. So yeah, looking at that solo lane control, not wanting to allow him his dominant force in that solo lane. Particularly, of course, as VIP know that their opponents here will have last pick in the draft. So we'll have real flexibility on that solo lane. So what we might see throughout these three bans from VIP as a sort of draft strategy is ban a lot of solo lane heroes out and pick one themselves, maybe even before the second ban phase, or as in an attempt to deny as much as they can the options to be countered by Norweaklings.
Yeah, and Garrosh has been banned out by Norweaklings, which sort of is fairly typical on Braxis Holdout, as he can have a lot of control over that point. Imperius once again banned out by the Vacation in Purgatory. Now, Lily was let through last time, and they lost with the Lily, unfortunately. But I think this is another good map for her. Probably, Azok will pick her. So, big tank show coming out here. That's a lot of stuns disappearing from the map. So Johanna could be a big priority as well, as she's one of those top tier tanks still left. And there it is, Johanna being the first pick for Vacation in Purgatory.
Yeah, I respect that. Straight away, the Lily gets picked up here by Norweaklings, so denying Azok the Lily pickup. And what do you make up of this Diva pickup? Is she going in the solo lane, or is she going in the... Oh, dear.
This is everything we've wanted, Keras. Did the Cho'Gall come out as well?
What a spicy Rumble rewind. Well, let me tell you, viewers at home, if you think Cho'Gall is going to win this game comfortably, you can bet on that with virtual points by typing !bet space A and then a number of points, or you can bet on the Diva Lily comp here of Norweaklings by typing !bet space B and a number to bet on Norweaklings. And you've got about 5 minutes left to bet. If you want to know how many points you've got, type !points.
Now, we see that Tychus has been banned out, and also Oriel banned out. So Tychus was banned out for Cho'Gall, so, get rid of that instant damage. Tychus is very popular at the moment, and, of course, he has those percentage damage, which is important when you're playing Cho'Gall. And Oriel banned out as the infinite energy that Cho'Gall can provide. But Anna is still available, but with Malthael and Valor being picked, this is looking tough right now for Cho'Gall. So I'd like to see what these last two picks could be for Vacation in Purgatory.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think they need, obviously they need a healer here. So we might see something like an Anna or an Alexstrasza. And of course, they'll need some other damage who may be, I don't know, just any kind of range damage, I suspect. But no, going for a solo lane there with Artanis and going for the Brightwing. So having Cho'Gall more as a kind of primary DPS rather than a frontliner. And Brightwing healer, I like Brightwing healer for Cho'Gall because she does have percentage healing. There's a huge percentage healing with the phase shift upgrade at level 1. So I think it's 35% total. Am I right in saying that, transparent?
I think it can go up to 40% with the... Or maybe I've got that wrong. Maybe it's changed.
It's big money. It's big percentage money either way. Money. And Cho'Gall will really appreciate that. And of course, fewer targets. And this is another thing that maybe people don't always think about is fewer targets means the single target protection that Brightwing gives is kind of more valuable. With the spell armor, where if there's 5 targets to be hit by a flame strike and you can only protect one of them with the spell armor, that's less valuable than if you're protecting a quarter of your team effectively with that. So I'm I think Brightwing's a great pickup there to go with Cho'Gall as a healer. Obviously, the Karazim's there for the 7-sided strike, and he's going to put damage there as well. I assume the way they're laning this is with D.Va main tank, if you can call it, but you may have Malthael down there instead, and D.Va or Karazim in the offlane.
Well, regardless of that, we are going to have to see who can be the Nexus Rumble champion, as our champions, Vacation and Purgatory, here in the blue, have to fend off Norweaklings for 2 matches for sure. We've got Sherlock playing Cho'Gall, that's Shady Gamer, and level 13 Warlock on Cho'Gall. Swiss Rico once again on the Johanna, and Azog533 on Brutwing, our friend who likes murder. And off in the offlane, we have our Tannis, being played by Supernova.
And in the red corner, hoping to make it a 2-0, it's Norweaklings with Muteki on Valor, Fantanal here on the Karazim, Tommy Gunn on the Lili, and we have Bokken on D.Va, and of course, Hedrunt on Malthael.
Yeah, so as you say, this laning phase is going to be a little bit unusual. Both teams sort of going to be scaling right into that late game as the percentage damage becomes more and more for the red team.
I have to say, I'm shocked by one talent pick already, Transparent. Brightwing has not gone for that percentage damage on level 1. And the reduced cooldown on the Zed. Instead going for the polymorph, we will be more, that's great against dive heroes like Karazim, and probably as D.Va as well. And so they will try and provide more control that way. But, that percentage heal, having that repeated percentage heal for Cho'Gall would have been so valuable, I think. I can't help that might be a misstep from them. But, in comes the damage onto Joanna. Lovely body block there from Bokken on the D.Va as well. And Tommy Gunn on the Lili, showing the aggressive style here from the Lili. Nicely played there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you can do, especially with this D.Va as well. The sort of body blocks that she can do and the damage she puts out is not anything to be scoffed at. So here we have the red team already taking this aggressive stance, but they've invaded the siege camp, and this is a risky invade. They've taken down one of the camps. Can they get it in time? Yep, Rico not quite there, and the blue team not feeling brave enough to take them on underneath that camp. So they're just going to play it slow, wait for the late game. Good stuff here so far from the Norweaklings.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a perfectly reasonable strategy when you've got Cho'Gall. They are devastating in the late game, so that is definitely the game plan here. And of course, with Joanna, Cho'Gall, it's kind of a tough front line to secure any kills with at this stage of the game. And they may be playing more for that sustain. But playing a sustain game against a 2-healer comp is going to be difficult. I love this rotation, by the way. Tommy Gunn on the Lili, really playing assassin here, and I really respect that on the damage Lili. So nicely played from my Tommy Gunn, who's now rotating down. Going to start topping up the D.Va as well, and then just throw in some damage, just threaten Cho'Gall, threaten Joanna as well, and just be a general nuisance and provide general sustain pressure on both halves of the map.
Yeah, people quite often say that double support is the worst thing to play into, and it's very good. But we have a kill on the top from Malthael on Artanis. Nicely done here by Artanis, taking over the beacon process. But as the teams fight in the bottom lane, D.Va has to pop her bomb, zoning out the Cho'Gall and the Johanna before anyone else can realize. Azog going for the point, trying to zone out. But Bokken, more than happy to push them off, as D.Va in that mech is very, very sturdy.
Yeah, and of course, well, in particular, D.Va in the mech with 2 supports. And that's kind of difficult, especially because they built for this 2-tank setup, in a sense, with Cho and Joanna. Oh, Brightwing falling a bit low, and Valor goes in and secures the kill. And that's one lovely play here from Muteki. And of course, that's one of the advantages of playing Valor with 2 supports behind you, is you can be a bit more aggressive, really punish. And that's something that Cho'Gall's going to have to start watching out for as well, because Valor's just going to keep getting that hatred stacking up and up. And of course, later on, she will get the percentage damage as well, and that might be a real problem there for Cho'Gall.
Yeah, they have to be careful. One thing that red team does not quite have is a way of wave clearing easily, apart from using the D.Va bomb. So if they ever do lose these waves, it could be detrimental to them, especially as Valor has gone auto attack build on level 4 rather than opting for those the W build Valor. So that will help, obviously, as you said, with the percentage damage later on, but it could be their weakness if they lose the objective. But it doesn't seem that way, as blue team have to try and defend this with just Cho'Gall and Johanna. This is looking a little bit tough for them as well. Yeah,
and the D.Va's there, just stepping up, being a general nuisance. The polymorphs are good, they are controlling the D.Va a bit, but she just seems just to have unlimited sustain here with the help of Karazim and Lili. Just constantly harassing. Of course, Brightwing can't really compete with that level of sustain, particularly not if she doesn't have a reduced cooldown on that Zed. So Azog on the Brightwing feeling compelled to save the Zed for saves, and that means, of course, they can't use it for general top-up. And Valor and D.Va, just so much sustain coming out here.
Yeah, and they are getting pushed in here. The Zerg wave only just now falling to 0%. There's a 5-man rotation coming out here. Headrun is ready to be on the flank, but no, red team are going back away. Muteki's still trying to put in as much damage as possible on that Valor. Keep those stacks of hatred and maybe additional 2% attack speed so desperately wants. Red team still being so aggressive with this level 7. It's looking good now.
Yeah, both teams are fairly close on XP though, so not, the blue team not falling behind really here in terms of talent and stuff, but they are falling behind in structures and in kills. Although they want to contest this camp. Lovely polymorph from Brightwing might just stop the bomb from going off. No, they couldn't quite deliver the finishing blow to D.Va, and they left the point here. I'm not sure Cho'Gall had to do that. They could have just maybe held the armor and stayed on, but actually now they've got to start running for sure as Artanis gets picked off here by the D.Va and the Malthael. And of course that relentless damage here from Valor, who's running at 13.5k already.
Yeah, I mean, someone said it in the chat that Valor is going to basically run away with this game, especially late game. Getting all sorts of damage, especially with that Manticore. Cho'Gall is going to get punished for sure, but will Cho'Gall be able to take control of the game at that point? We'll have to wait and see, as they are falling a little bit behind, as Red Team are just playing that a little bit more aggressive and getting the crucial kills that they need. So, after taking all the camps on this map, the objective will be spawning again, and we'll be heading towards level 10. So, we could see a little swapperoonie, or the 4-man might just try and push in this bot lane.
Yeah, they may well do. And I think actually there may be a gank here onto Artanis, who's got to be careful. A lovely little bait there from Headrun, but suddenly Supernova smelled there was trouble, stepped back behind that gate, didn't want to have anything to do with the Valor and the Lily who were stepping up and threatening him. So that 4-man push here from Norweaklings will go on, will start to really threaten that fort, and I don't think there's anything that Supernova on the Artanis can do. The question is, can they trade here in the bot lane with the 4 of Cho'Gall, Joanna and Brightwing? They've not got as good push for a fort as, say, the Valor with 2 supports does, but they do manage to get that D.Va mech. Which means the D.Va is very exposed if Joanna can find her engage onto D.Va while she doesn't have that mech available.
Yeah, I like the little push here. They sort of gone for it, and the auto attack damage of Karazim and Valor, but the flank comes out. Here comes Tommy Gun with the blinding gun, trying to slow down the retreat of the blue team. Can Muteki get anything done? But no, with no stacks of hatred just quite yet, the movement speed wasn't available to chase. So the red team now stacking up percentage points and level 10 as we see them pick. We see the 7-sided, we see the last rights. What people have been calling out once again. This is going to be brutal for the Cho'Gall until they have that molten block.
Yeah, I think the molten block will be important for Cho'Gall. And that, whether it can buy time for Cho'Gall to get set up and Brightwing's coming in. Comes the Water Dragon again, of course. Oh, and there's a 7-sided. Of course, Joanna manages to get out of there. Not too much danger there. So that's two heroics used there. And now the level 10s are coming in for VIP, which means that they have a 5 versus 3 advantage on heroics. D.Va steps in, tries to threaten Artanis, but he'll get back and he will get the level 10. And now they should be able to clear the Zerg without too much trouble, especially as I mentioned, they have that 2 heroic advantage.
Yeah, and they are looking to try and get something in here. But we see the Hammer of Twilight and the Twisting Nether. I was hoping for a little bit of upheaval to maybe pull some people a little bit out of position forward. But no, here we go. We see that they're looking to go for a combination. The Hammer of Twilight already been used. Here is the Twisting Nether, trying to get some polymorph used on the D.Va to reduce the damage, but no, Twisting Nether just used to sort of threaten away and clear some of the Zerg wave. There is the Water Dragon, the rest of the red team trying to push in. Karazim now going for the 7-sided strike onto Sherlock, and Sherlock does indeed go down as Cho'Gall down bottom pops the D.Va bomb. Can the red team get any more than just this keep? The Cho'Gall's gone. This is now 3v5.
This is a disaster here for VIP. Massive pressure has come out for Norweaklings, but now Joanna wants to just threaten a little bit, but the keep's not there anymore. This is just a 3v5 fight, of course. And here comes the last rights. We'll finish off Joanna as well. This is GG's been called already. We're 8 minutes in. I think this might be the end of VIP as the champions of the Nexus Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing so well, but it looks like VIP are still trying to defend. They're not just done yet. The GG has been called because they feel so powerless, but I really think they've got some chance here. They've just got to wait till that Molten Block at level 13, which will really help the Cho'Gall out. got a lot of tools still to come. So if they can hold in, they could be able to turn this around.
Level 13 talent's going to be in a few more seconds, though, for Norweaklings. And that's another mountain that VIP have to climb just to get themselves back onto an even playing field. They're down 3 key structures now. The keep at the top and the 2 forts. And they're down a level and a half in XP. The challenge is, as we see these level 13 talents coming in here, with, of course, Gloom for Vala to give her that spell armor to protect from the gore damage. The challenge is, on top of everything else, the Norweaklings are now going for the boss, and there's absolutely nothing that VIP can do to stop them because they don't have that talent here. And of course, they're stuck clearing waves because the keep's down. VIP are really cornered here, and it's very difficult for them to steer themselves out of these murky waters.
Yeah, they absolutely have got a little bit of a awkward place. This boss is just going to be pushing so hard, and with this being a 2-lane map, they haven't been able to do something.
Yeah,
you know, they can't get the soak of the XP that they really need to catch up in this game. So the boss now pushing on the bot lane. They've obviously got catapults a little bit further away in the top lane. They should be able to stave off this defense, but it could go terribly wrong if there's a risk.
In comes the damage from the boss, starting to push. I don't think the keep will be secured here too easily by Norweaklings, but they'll be happy just putting a bit of damage. Nice laser from Artanis forces Karazim backwards, but he's not the best target for it because he can move around very mobile. Brightwing, got to be careful here. Minus healing as well from Malfield. Threatens Brightwing, so she can't keep herself alive too easily. Does the phase shift onto Artanis just to give him a little top up, allow him to potentially go in and catch onto the Malfield. The swap doesn't quite reach, and the boss has finished the keep here.
Yeah, but that is getting rid of the Diva Bomb, which has stopped the push. The beacons are activating, but being able to take down this boss before it gets to the core is going to be crucial. They can get another couple of waves or so. They can contest this beacon process before it gets to 100%. They could possibly turn this game around. Hope is not lost yet, Karis.
Yeah, but there's 3 catapults in the top, and they're going straight to that core right now, Transparent. And of course, VIP have to be able to deal with that pretty soon, because those are going to munch through those core. Yes, it's early game, though, so the catapults are not doing huge damage yet, but Artanis does have to go back and deal with them for now, and of course get themselves the level 13. VIP are back in this game in just a few more seconds, and they will have an even talent here and an opportunity to fight only down 1 or 2 levels.
Yep, but we do indeed have the ring around the roses now being played by the teams as they try to contest the shrine. The beacons are now being lit for the red team. They're calling for aid from Berserk. Can they finish off this second game in our best of 3 series of the Nexus Rumble Lower series? And Bokken is feeling feisty on this bottom beacon and is not giving up as the percentage ticks up as he's on there. He's reducing the damage of the 2 frontliners that are trying to take him down, but now Cho'Gath is here. This is where the team fight is. Level 13 is being picked up. The Molten Block is here, ready to stop any sort of percentage damage, and there is a huge amount of damage coming out here from the Twisting Nether. But Diva Bomb here, the Hannah gets taken down by the Water Dragon. Azok is going to fall to the bottom, and there's the last rights on Artanis. That's 3 down. Cho'Gath is the only one left, and he's getting chased down by the red team. It looks like it's going to be GG as the Norweaklings head chase down the Cho'Gath and end it on the core.
It's indeed very likely to be GG at this point. There's 100% Zerg. Cho'Gath might not even live to get back to his base. Probably will, but even then, what are they going to do here, the Cho and the core, against this monstrous push that's coming in? It's 16 versus 13. It's 13 minutes in. And of course, 100% Zerg wave coming down to that core. Joanna steps in. Cho'Gath threatens Lily Lithbeth, threatens Malthael. Malthael does get picked off here. In comes the laser from Artanis, tries to threaten the Vala, keep her on her toes. In comes the Water Dragon, threatens onto Joanna. Cho'Gath steps up. Is this the beginning of the turnaround here? Cho'Gath steps up. They want to fight this 5v4, but in comes the Zerg to be the 5th member for the Norweaklings. They just march out that core. Where's the core gone? It's been absolutely destroyed here by this Zerg wave, and it's going to be GG. Well played. It's 2-0 to the Norweaklings.
Yeah, the Norweaklings take it as our final Nexus Rumble champions. It has been a phenomenal 12 weeks where, you know, the Norweaklings were here in the very beginning at week number 2. And they made it through to sort of come back again in this Rumble Rewind and show that our current champions, VIP, could still be contested. Really well done to them. And yeah, they get to walk away high. It looks like yeah, they must be feeling good. We've had a great series. It's been finished a bit early, but yes, we've got another one straight after this. Do we not, Karis?
Yes, we do. We have Food for Phrobius, the current champions of the Upper Rumble. And who are they going to be going up against, Transparent?
They will be going up against the one and only Complex, who they dropped a map against earlier in the season. Yes, Complex took them down to go to 1-0, 1-all, and almost cost them the season. So, can they defend their title once again against Complex? We'll have to wait and see, as we're going to relax and enjoy some of our highlights of the Nexus Rumble this season, as we just go to a little short break. So, don't go anywhere and just enjoy these.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Heroes Lounge Nexus Rumble.
Yeah, and the Dragon Knight, meanwhile, has just been poking away at the mid lane, but Cloud is looking to try and chase down. But Kex is doing really well to combat the Tracer.
Oh, but the Diablo flank though on the side here. The stay a while and listen, not quite there. Actually flipped back in to the stay a while and listen here and waited for Tracer to be able to land the bomb here. Lightning Breath comes out as well. And that's a kill onto Anna. That was really nicely played by the Diablo, actually.
There soon, but the shields, the sound barrier from the Lucio is almost phenomenal. It's keeping everybody up on the blue team still, while red team is getting lower and lower. The big avalanche comes out, but the deeper bomb, the blessed shield comes out. ATC is being focused. He does have the death mosh. They need to be careful. He's cleansed himself. Fluck being silenced in the backline by Argalan. Argalan trying desperately to take the 2 kills. ATC's going back in for the dash mosh, and he gets it onto one person. The cleanse comes out on Johanna. Johanna goes down, but the Greymane's taken out in the backline. Usa's gone down as well. He's not going to be coming back this time. Orphea trying ever so hard to maybe get extra value, but that's going to be a 4-for-1 wipe on the red team. This once again is their time to shine, but they need to be careful of mid lane.
Yeah, mid lane and top lane all mounting up.
Already, so they have the storm talents, which will give them a big advantage over their opponents.
Yeah, and they do have this excess pressure on the top. They could just retreat and defend, but no, we see them on the blue Immortal. Sergeant Hammer trying desperately, but with a light bomb here on the background, Tracer is indeed going to get blown up, and with Tompa Boy also going in, they're trying to get some sort of return kill. The Leap of Faith done to pull Jikoku out. Kalippa Frizz is going in and further in, but no more follow-up just yet. There's the
Genji respawn and will join up with his team. It's the same talent, so the blue team really wants this fight. Joins there, Blessed Shield onto the Variant. There's the root coming in, Jaina taking quite a lot of damage, has to pop the Iron Chicken. Salvo coming in, but there's the APOC as well. Does not hit anyone. Kevin now going in. Will use the Dragon Blade in a second. But no, there's the Crystal Aegis onto the caster. She does not enough. She goes down, Aura goes down as well. Make it 2, make it 4, make it 5 as a 5-man team wipe from the red team.
for Wailing Arrow to return. The peel going either side. The Blessed Shield coming out from Johanna now. Anduin looks like he's in desperate trouble, but the Light Bomb goes off, cutting out a little bit of a shield. Looking to get in. He has the mosh pit, has the control, but the Blaze here unable to get on the point. This is going to be a huge boss fight. Halen now being able to pop all the damage as well. Wailing Arrow comes out and interrupts a lot. Mosh pit is on a 7-second cooldown. ETC does go down though, and Sylvanas is now the next one to go down. Twilight Team gets interrupted. Blue Team are just picking off the heroes. Left, right, and centre jam, trying their best to get on the point. But Blue Team are able to turn that round.
Kill for Kerrigan. Prime flank, the bunker's being used as well. The Wailing Arrow coming out, but the Wind Tunnel being used here. But it's into the bunker. Can they get into the bunker? Halen taking a lot of damage here. Does manage to bolt away to safety. The Mosh Pit coming out there with the Torbus value coming out here. And the stun as well. The damage from Tassadar. And the red team are being destroyed here. 3
seconds. That's going to be a long time until they can do something. And Wind Tunnel's coming out. That's a big combo here. And Sly's going to pull them all in. Maybe try and get the punishing request. But no, Anna goes down straight away. This is going to be a big team.
The bolt usually, or the Death Mosh can be really big. But on the other side, we have the Wind Tunnel, we have the Radiating Faith from Johanna, and Divine Hurricane as well. Oh, we see Medivh fly, and the Gust into the Orphea, into the team. And that is a quick kill for Food for Phrobius.
Yeah, and that's going to give them advantage that they want to take this keep wall, maybe keeping Kitty Cat Crusaders away from level 20 before the next objective. Spark putting out the well plays here as he was just caught by that Gust. A beautiful play here from Falstad.
I agree, but this time, this is on a decent spot for them, but we do see Vixu getting double stunned here, and the damage coming out, and Vixu just gets deleted there. Level 9, v level 8. Experience pretty much even, though, at this point, you know. We are going to see a catapult, but we do see a slide coming out onto Irwin here. Stunned, polymorphed, into the Guzzler Bomb again. Irwin falling extremely low, 140 HP, 120.
Welcome back to the Heroes Lounge Nexus Rumble. And joining me once again, it's Transparent.
Hello, hello. Yes, yeah, this is the Nexus Rumble. our big finale, the Rumble Rewind, as we have these two formidable opponents going up against each other once again. Complex versus Food for Phrobius. As I said, Food for Phrobius have been top of the Nexus Rumble for 7 weeks, Karis. 7 weeks. Do you know how many weeks that is, Karis?
That's
Weeks?
somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks, isn't it?
It is somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. Yeah, they've been doing so well, winning almost all of them 2-0, but 2 opponents brought them to a third map, and that was Water Dragons last week and Complex. And so Complex have returned to say, right, it's time we took you down for good, and they are looking to make themselves a name for themselves. It's been so good so far, and Food for Phrobius has just been on top. You may have seen in the little clip compilation there that we had for you that Food for Phrobius were in a lot of them, and that is because they've been here for 7 weeks and they've made some incredible plays. Have they not, Kenneth?
They have indeed. I mean, it's just been such a dominant performance here from the Division 2 team, Food for Phrobius. Of course, Complex as well have been demonstrating some great prowess. But don't forget we've seen Food for Phrobius beat Division 1 team here in the Nexus Rumble as well. And that given that Food for Phrobius are going into the Heroes Lounge Legendary Cup later this month, in December, that's going to be potentially a real force to be watched throughout that playoff stage. I mean, I don't know, can they be taken down? That's the real question. Complex obviously have had a go already. How did they do last time, Transparent?
Well, yes, they went. It was indeed a close match. As I say, 2-1 of them. This was in week 8 of the Nexus Rumble. Yeah, they had a great series where sort of there's back and forth. Both teams sort of really getting their teeth into the game. I've sort of had an Infernal Shrines game, a Battlefield of Eternity game, and a Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Just to put a little stat out there for you, Karis, Tomb of the Spider Queen has been the most popular map in the Nexus Rumble Upper Series. It's been picked 7 times out of the 11 weeks we've had so far. So, I mean, that's a high proportion.
That is very high, especially because some of you will know that in the Heroes Lounge Draw Show, we had some stats about the whole season. And Tomb of the Spider Queen didn't feature in the top 3 maps overall there, which were Infernal Shrines, Vault Sky Foundry, and Battlefield of Eternity. So Tomb of the Spider Queen, I think, may have snuck in the Legendary Cup most popular maps, but not in any of the other divisions. So it's kind of surprising that it's seeing so much play here in the Nexus Rumble. I mean, why do we think that is, Transparent?
I think it's a big favourite of Food for Phrobius. Whenever they are given map pick, they pretty much always pick Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's just something they've shown really good prowess. You often watch their off-lane hat rotate to the middle consistently just to get those additional ganks in, and it almost always nets them a kill, and that gives them the advantage going forward into the game. As you said earlier, they beat a Division 1 team on that map incredibly well after defending what could have been a lost game, coming out with some amazing power slides from ETC. So yeah, they've been doing so well. I would be interested to see what they pick up today, as we have a couple of map bans just trickling in from these teams. We're a little bit early with the upper series, but we are enjoying ourselves here, as this is the Rumble Rewind. I mean, I could say, the teams they've beaten is almost all of them from Division sort of 2 and 3 as well. So they've really been put to their paces. Out of Position Squad, another top Division 2 team, Kitty Cat Crusaders, and Super Unstoppable Bros as well, to mention a few. So Food for Phrobius have really been through it all, and they know exactly what they want. So they've banned Towers of Doom, and as Complex banned Sky Temple, we see Alterac Pass being banned out by Food for Phrobius as well, with Cursed Hollow, another favourite of Food for Phrobius, being banned out by Complex. So the map pick being up for Food for Phrobius, we may well see we go to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, Karis, I was promised there was some juicy goodness that Food for Phrobius were bringing. Now, it's not necessarily going to be outstanding, and I know that it's probably not going to be Fizz on Phrobius, which we all love to see, but I'm hoping it's a good surprise, as good as Butcher in the Nexus Rumble Lower Series.
as good as Butcher. Well, now you've really built some juice. Well, you'll never guess which map we're going to for game number 1 here. Transparent.
It is Tomb of the Spider Queen. Yeah, what a fantastic choice by Food for Phobius. As I say, they've just been doing so well on it. I think they must have a 100% win rate on the map because they've only dropped 2 maps, and I know it's not Tomb of the Spider Queen off the top of my head. So yeah, they've been doing so super well, and we have to watch out for what they might have in store. As we look to sort of look at their past, they really have pulled out all the stops every single week. Oh, I mean, yeah. What do you think their surprise could be?
Well, I mean, it could be anything. I mean, well, not literally anything. I don't think the surprise is going to be jazz hands, but you never know. You never know in the Nexus Rumble. I think there's a lot of different surprise heroes that we don't see so much. I think Gazlo is quite likely to get picked up, which, you know, if you told that to somebody 10 weeks ago, that might have sounded like a surprise, but nowadays is not so much a surprise. And I think we've seen Fizz whip him out before in the Nexus Rumble, maybe, or in a regular lounge match. So I'll be honest, I've got no idea.
Yeah, and you know, it's just good to have these teams very much taking part, taking good care, and it's so nice to be involved in the Nexus Rumble. If you aren't sure what we're doing here, this has been a winner stays on tournament, where in Heroes Lounge, you know, it's quite usual that you have your usual week on match, but every Sunday almost here on the Heroes Lounge channel, we have had this tournament where whoever wins plays the next week, and it's allowed for these beautiful rivalries to blossom, where perhaps you were bested by a team in the main season, but you wanted to really take down that team. Well, the Nexus Rumble was your opportunity, and here we are at the very end, and Food for Phobius have been our champions for so long that they're looking to finish off the season and really take it home and feel proud as we have this last week here. But we've just got a couple of little bits to go, and hopefully we'll jump straight into the draft.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Rumble Rewind, and it's going to be epic either way. That's for sure. This is going to be the Upper Rumble series. So teams from Divisions 1 to 3, and of course Food for Phobius and Complex, both from Division 2 here. So, you know, some of the top teams definitely in Heroes Lounge. Am I right in saying they both qualified for the Legendary Cup as well? So
yeah, absolutely. As first seeds, I believe. I think they were 1 and 2 in Division 2. So real top teams here, and we'll expect the highest level of play from them, as they have been. 1 and 3. They were positions 1 and 3. Kitty Cat Crusaders were in the second position. So yeah, both teams real top things, and I really hope we get some spicy drafts.
Yeah, I think we've got lots to look forward to this evening, and I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, we should hopefully be going into this draft soon. If you are one of the fans of the teams, please spam away in the chat, as we want to see your support go all the way.
Yes, we
in the
do.
chat. We want to see
a bit of support in the chat, yeah. And of course, there will be, once the draft starts, there will be betting available for you to bet on who you think will win game number 1, and you can bet on each of the games that we'll see tonight. Game number 1 in tonight's second best of 3 series between Food for Phobius and Complex.
Yeah, these two top Div 2 teams are really going to go at it. Oh, Team the Spider Queen. I'm hoping for something juicy. Maybe.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. Some juicy spider action. Spider juice.
Spider juice. Does whatever a spider juices. And here we are.
Indeed we are. We are underground in the Tomb of the Spider Queen, where one can collect little jemmies off spiders' backs and pay them to the Spider Queen, and as compensation for you killing all of her children, she gives you more children to fight for you. So let's not worry too much about the lore as we go into our first of these bands, with Complex having the first band here on on in game number 1. I mean, what are they likely to ban early on?
What are they likely to ban? Well, I would assume it is the Medivh, but they're probably thinking about what else they want to ban, because everyone has been banning the Medivh against Fizz. He's well known for being so terribly annoying on it. So I absolutely expect that, but they could be banning his Falstad instead, because that seemed to be a pretty good ban that Watch Dragons did last week. And it is Medivh.
Yes, that's fair enough. We've seen that Fizz can be absolutely devastating on that Medivh. It's sort of implied by his name here, Fizziv. But
yeah,
that's so nothing too surprising there. Are we going to see any meta bans, do you think, or are we going to see only kind of target bans as Tracer gets banned out there?
I'm going to say
against
we're
White
only going to
Tiger?
see. We're only going to see target bans. White Tiger is a prolific Tracer player, known for climbing the ladder just on the back of that Tracer, pretty much. Yeah, so absolutely something to watch out for there. But we could be seeing some tank bans. I think it'll be sort of that target meta thing where ETC, Sonny plays it so incredibly well that it's definitely worth a ban. And Complex are going to value it with a Johanna ban instead. So looking to first pick the ETC, perhaps.
Yes, and Sammy points out in the chat, Sonny on the ETC could be devastating. We've seen in the last Rumble a great mosh pit from Sonny on Alterac Pass that was posted in the Clip Lounge. By the way, if you see any great plays like that tonight, don't forget to post them in the Clip Lounge channel on the Heroes Lounge Discord. But we're not going to see them from Sonny because, of course, there's the ETC picked up by Complex.
Yeah, they have denied it. And the Diablo got banned out as well. Snowby known for his Diablo. So all this targeting, these teams know each other incredibly well. A lot of friends between these teams, which is why this rivalry is so hot. And we have Jam on Brightwing and Tastar being picked up by Gippy.
Yeah, Brightwing is sort of counterintuitively good on this map because whilst it's not a big map for kind of global value, what it does have is a lot of minion kills around you all the time to keep that phase shift cooldown reset if you go for that phase shift talent at level 1. Okay, we didn't see that in the last game on Braxis, but I think we almost certainly will see that here, picked by Jam on Tomb of the Spider Queen, as Leoric and Jaina are the next pickups for Penelope and Baby Houdini.
Yeah, and that Jaina sort of instigates that they don't want there to be Garrosh on the side of Food for Phobia. It's sort of saying, look, we know that we've limited the tank pool. We're going to make it so it's even harder for you to play some of the ones that are left. So, Jaina being picked up, that's really good. Baby Houdini with the Leoric, another good. I mean, the Janitor Leoric is perfect because he's so good at cleaning up the waves here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. With Anna being banned now, I think we'll have an interesting couple of picks in the latter half here for Food for Phobias.
Yeah, this could be where we begin to see the spice. And he who controls the spice controls the universe, as Garrosh gets banned out there by Complex, so not allowing a common tank there.
I'm a little bit surprised by that, Karis. As I sort of mentioned, Jaina does so well into Garrosh that you'd almost want to let Garrosh through and ban another tank, but they're so scared of it because it does have that controlling aura that, they've just banned it out straight away.
I think it's about tank choke, to be honest, because Diablo and Joanna were already banned. So I think, I was going to say this Blaze main tank, but I don't think it is. As Hats picked up the Blaze for the offlane. Great pickup for the offlane, by the way. Great wave clear to contest with Leoric and can double soak just as well, to be honest. And of course, has that potential engage, and of course the bunker to save if the stuff hits the fan. If the defecation hits the oscillation, so to speak. As Vala gets picked up here for Complex.
We see Fizz on Reyna, which is not something we usually see, so I'm wondering if we're going to see a Tyrael as the last pick for Sonny, as sort of an attack speed boost, and also having that Judgment or Sanctification. But White Tiger on Vala and Malfurion being played by Break Raven, it's going to be really, really solid. But no, it's an Anubrek as the last pick for Sonny.
Yeah, and I think that's a good all-round comp from both of these teams. Nothing too surprising here. I think the Vala-Malf combination is something that Anubrek has got to be careful about. Played by Sonny here, I assume, once the swaps are done. Although, we'll find out, I guess. But it's something that Anubrak's got to be careful about, is that constant Valor damage that is not a swap, by the way. It is Jam on the Anubrak and Sunny on Tassadar.
Oh. Yes, yeah, they're all playing heroes that they don't usually play. This is a bit of a surprise. I'm not quite sure what to think of this. Have they practiced like this? Are they just trying to style on Complex? I'm not really sure, but yeah, get your bets in the chat as !bet A and the number of points will bet for Food for Phrobius, our current champions of the Nexus Rumble, or !bet B will bet for Complex, our challengers looking to take down this team that has been around for so long.
And indeed, we are going in to game number 1 in this best of 3 series. And on the left, in blue, we have, of course, Food for Phrobius, with Sunny on the Tassadar, Jeeper on the Blaze, Jam on the Anubrak, Hat on Reyna, and Fizz on the Brightwing.
Yep, and on the right-hand side, we do indeed have Complex. Our challengers today, we have Penelope on Jaina, Breakraven on Malfurion, White Tiger on Valor, FaZe Snowbee playing ETC, and Baby Houdini on Leoric.
Yes, indeed. So let's take a look at those level 1 talents. New habits for Blaze here, coming out straight away. Wants to have that unstoppable once they have the 15 globes so that they can interrupt that mosh pit. ETC going for that prog rock to get a bit more sustain. And Valor still not picked a level 1. Only time will tell for White Tiger.
Yeah, and here we see that the red team getting a good rotation, but the blue team's getting a little bit ahead. As I say, new habits on. We see the Reyna in the offlane, and yeah, this double tank with Blaze helping out with the wave clear, looking to be good here. Gibby with the initiation onto Malfurion, but he is going to get hit by the Tassadar, and yes, that's the first blood here for Food for Phrobius. Nicely done.
First blood. Beautifully done. And you love to see that kind of strong engage. And of course, by the way, yeah, you've got the Reyna there sitting in the off lane, and Blaze and Nubrak rotating together. Oh man, they catch Valor as well, because they've got so much CC together in this rotation. You've got the Anubrak stun, you've got the Blaze stun, you've got the other Anubrak stun, and then you've got the Brightwing polymorph. That's a lot of CC time here for the blue team. And if anyone like a Valor or a Malf, as we've just seen, gets caught even a millimeter out of position, there's nothing that, Malfurion or ETC can do to save them.
Yeah, it looks like this. They're just coming out with pure aggression. Food for Phrobius. They're looking for the kills, and they're saying, "Look, we deserve to be the champions. We can do this in style." And Complex, I mean, their bones must be rattled as they're trying to get themselves back into a good position of soaking the lanes and getting as many gems as possible.
I love to see this psychological hot here that's going on. Psychological heroes of the storm. Because, of course, as you say, Complex will be like, what the dickens is going on here? We were prepared for Blaze and offlane and Nubrak in rotation with Reyna, and yet, and suddenly, we're finding tremendous amounts of engage and CC potential from Blaze and Nubrak just running straight at them. And, what do they do about it? It's not easy.
No, it absolutely isn't. And especially as we sort of get into the later stages of this game, we may see that the expertise that Complex have on all of their heroes in their roles might just start to pay off. But these blue team players of Food for Phrobius surely they're not newbies at all, as they have been at the top of the Nexus Rumble for 7 weeks. FaZe Snowbee here to interrupt Gippy turning in those first 13 gems. Unable to do that. Can they find an opportunity as Complex to get back in this game?
Yes, I think this role swap idea has bamboozled as many of the viewers as it has the players. We love to see it. I mean, Fizz on Brightwing, by the way, I always say that Brightwing is just Medivh with Ancestral Healing. So I like to see Fizz on the Brightwing. But in comes another potential engage. ETC's going to be fine for now. Steps back here. And of course, Penelope and Breakraven going straight for that Bruiser camp. So still prioritizing the right things. And I think one of the things that can separate top level players from kind of intermediate level players is the ability to keep cool when something surprises you or catches you off guard. I mean, so Mike Tyson used to say, everybody goes into the ring with a plan, and then you get punched in the face. And that's what we will have to see from Complex here, is how they react to being punched in the face like this. How do they keep their composure? How do they play their game plan? And I like the fact they've already prioritized that bruiser camp, got that rolling, and they're getting in some jemmies now as well, although they don't have quite enough to pay.
Yeah, if you get punched in the face, it's going to leave a bruiser camp. But now, Complex rotating around. White Tiger getting caught out here a little bit by Gippy. Gippy gets the roots, and Space Nobi is all ready for the stuns. But no, Jam is here, locking White Tiger down. The Polymorph also to put in there. We've got a full-on team fight, and Jaina is just a little bit behind, but Gippy is falling lower and lower. This could be the first kill for Complex, and it is indeed. White Tiger now to push down Jam. It was just a little bit too far forward here for Food for Phrobius. As Complex now take charge.
And with that, they'll pay their jemmies, and they will get themselves the first turn-in of the game. The Spider Queen is going to reward them for their servitude. A little bit of a breather here then, as you say, for Complex. They've got themselves back into this game, and we're seeing the beginnings of how they can punish this hyper-aggressive style of Food for Phrobius. And if they just catch Blaze or Anubrak out of position. So, and it's another thing I always say about both of those tanks is if they E in and they miss the engage, they're usually dead, and that's true for Blaze, and it's probably true for Anubrak as well. Vala vaults in there, looks for a little bit of damage onto Vala, but of course Malf is there to support. So that is something that Blaze and Anubrak have to both be really careful about, because Malfurion roots are there, ETC slides there, and we all know that Penelope and White Tiger can put out a serious amount of hurt.
Yeah, and Hat is feeling that hurt right now in the top lane as they're trying to defend against this red Webweaver phase. Tastar is in the mid lane right now, so this 4-man push is looking to get more and more aggressive. White Tiger trying to get the auto attacks onto Jam on the Anubrak. It looks like they've got the healing well, but I don't think they'll be getting much more than that slight damage that's tickled their fort. Nice attempt here from Jam, but White Tiger dodging with the vault.
So, a little bit of a breather. Oh, Jeeper on the Blaze, gonna get chased here. Press the unstoppable, the medallion used there. Now, Blaze is not gonna be so worried about having used the medallion, because once they get up to 15 globes, and bear in mind they're already on 13, they'll have their own unstoppable from the D as well. So, not too worried about using the medallion cooldown like that at this point. So, good call there from Jeeper.
Yeah, level 10 soon coming in for the red team, as the blue team are a whole level behind, as they've lost their outer structures from this Webweaver phase. I mean, can they get the control back before a second one happens from the red team? We'll have to wait and see, as now Mosh Pit is being picked up by ETC, the Twilight Dream from Malfurion, the Ring of Frost of Jaina, the Rain of Vengeance from Valor, and of course, the Deadly Entomb of Leoric.
Yes, and of course it's still only level 9.5 for their opponents in the form of Food for Phrobius. So far, Complex looking pretty good. Of course, it's not over by any stretch for Food for Phrobius. They are still in this game, and they still have gems to pay, and they're not far off, to be honest, with that level 10. Yes, in fact, here it comes the level 10. Blink Heal for Brightwing comes in immediately. That looks like Hyperion from Reyna, and Bunker from Blaze. Archon, of course, from Tastar, and Cocoon from Anubrak.
Now, in terms of consequential heroics, I think, you know, they're so equal on both teams, but this Cocoon and Twilight Archon really could turn the game around for Food for Phrobius back in their favour. After having that early game kills, they're just falling a little bit out of favour right now, as Blaze is having to defend this bot lane with the Siege Giants, and both teams just posturing around, ready for the next team fight to possibly get the next turn in.
Yeah, Blaze didn't build fully into wave clear. Of course, Blaze is still a good hero for wave clear. He has the crossfire and a little bit of AoE auto attacks. Scares off the Leoric here with a nice little stun, and now Jam's going in to threaten Baby Houdini, who does not have a Wraithwalk available, but of course is Jam on the Anubrak, who has to step back. She burrows out of there, post haste, and Jaina steps up, throws a little bit of damage. Penelope with the Blizzard there, threatening, and in comes ETC with the slide onto Jam, punishes the little beetle, but now there's a Cocoon onto Val, and here's the counter engage. Blaze with the stun, ETC with a burrow on top of two members. ETC can't be get caught here, otherwise won't be able to mosh pit. Snowy steps back, and immediately the whole of Complex are on the retreat. Snowy has to be very careful here, falling pretty low to that Tassadar damage.
Yeah, great play from both teams there, but Food for Phrobius is just getting the better engage. That CC follow-up that they have on the Cocoon is just so much value, forcing everything out of Complex, as they have had to go back with the tail between their legs, giving up the Webweaver phase, but saved a lot of their heroic uses, as we have yet to see a Twilight Dream or a Ring of Frost, or even a Mosh Pit.
Yeah, I think those, of course, are pretty impactful heroics. as it all depends on how they can land those. Of course, it's very difficult for ETC to land a mosh pit against potentially 4 or 5 interrupts from the enemy team. So Snowby's more using the threat of mosh pit to distract the Nubrak, to distract Blaze and say, you want to commit your stuns? Well, you better be ready to deal with a mosh pit. And that means that Jam and, of course, Jipper are going to be very cautious about using those interrupts. And ETC gets, but if he's dead, what can he do? Medallion, though, manages to get out there and then maybe clear Malfurion out of this cocoon. Entomb used to zone just to buy a bit of space for ETC to step back. Valor, played by White Tiger here, putting out a serious amount of damage onto a Nubrak, and that's something that Nubrak has to be careful. But look at the stun from Blaze here. The jet propulsion. Will they be punished, though, with the mosh pit? ETC immediately interrupted here by the Nubrak burrow, but the Twilight Dream catches onto 2 members. They've caught Brightwing as well. And maybe they will be able to get more, but no, they're going to step back for now. What a play here from Complex. After they were the ones under pressure to turn that around with that consistent damage coming out from White Tiger. And what a Twilight Dream here from Breakraven.
Yeah, it really shows that they are willing to take these fights and really push back the blue team. But once again, they used heroics, but the blue team didn't have them, and so now they have them for the defense. This Twilight Archon could be used really well. Actually, the Hyperion. So, with all the jams being collected by Jam as well, the gems being collected by Jam. The jam is being collected by Gem.
She's got the rhubarb jam, she's got the strawberry jam, she's got
a bit of chutney to boot. But yeah, so yeah, they'll be able to do some sort of defense. But Baby Houdini is looking for the achievement. It falls on Hat. He's got 40 gems. He will be taken down by White Tiger if not careful. He pops his own healing, and Jam looking for the peel, but the Ring of Frost just misses as Zeev is able to get that phase warp. Very nicely done here from Phobius as they retreat and defend this Web Weaver phase.
What a beautiful phase shift there from Brightwing here, played by Fizz, to save Arena, who was almost certainly going to die. He slides in here under the fort, will take fort shots here if Snowby's not careful. Lyric steps in though, can afford to be a bit more frivolous with his life, but of course Baby Houdini is carrying 27 gemmies here, so doesn't want to give those to the enemy, drop those in front of the enemy team where they can't be picked up. So a difficult call here for a Lyric player is how bold to be when you're carrying such a dangerous payload of 27 gemmies.
Yeah, this is the tough thing of Tomb of the Spider Queen. If you're not in control of the map, you feel so exposed because you're holding on these gems, you're being denied turn in left, right, and center, and you're just so scared to take that team fight because you might lose it all. So, people like Jam, who have been scouting out Baby Houdini, a little bit careful as the Entomb is still available. Hat is falling a bit low as well. He has 40 gems, and Valor on the outside is trying to take some of the damage down, but Blaze is getting entombed instead. Jam puts out the cocoon. She is falling low and low. There's a mosh pit there, and Sonny's only just arrived as the Tastar, but it's a beautiful interrupt from the rest of the team. Jam's falling low still, and she's dropped some gems. Gippy is falling low and lower. ETC is the one to go down. The Twilight Archon, the red team are actually getting that defense really nicely done from the Reds, as the blue team have lost both their tanks.
I cannot believe that. I mean, there's so much that happened there. So first of all, the Entomb onto Blaze was nice, but of course Blaze can hide in the bunker for a long time. That was nice. And then of course Fizz came in to top up the Blaze, so that wasn't too much of an issue. All the time, Sunny on the top on the Archon Tassadar was just standing at the side, throwing in relentless damage from behind the wall, and there's not much that the Complex could have done about that, but it didn't matter because the healing that came out from Malfurion in that tight space, when you've got Moonfire after Moonfire after Moonfire, was so valuable, and it kept most members alive, and ultimately they won that fight with a little bit of an edge, and they're now level 16 on Complex, and of course 2 fots up on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yeah, and they are just pushing in hard. They get another turn in here. This could be something where they can take a keep or even the game if they play their cards right. So they're looking forward. Baby Houdini looking for this Entomb that has been so good. And of course, we have the mosh pits available. No encore this time as we have Mic Check just to displace these 2 beefy front lines a bit more.
Yeah, that's again just more consistent. It's more consistent to have your W up more often, as they will indeed here with the reduced cooldown. And of course, if it hit even the Nubrak beetles, that counts as well. So they will almost always be hitting 2 targets with that face melt. Nothing to worry about there for Snowby. Again, this front wall down, just to give themselves a bit more space. They don't have to push through the choke point to escort this Web Weaver. I don't think they're going to be able to get this keep without committing hard, and I don't think they're going to do that. By the way, there's a little skirmish going on between White Tiger and Fizz, the Brightwing, in the bot lane, but of course, Brightwing has Polymorph and Blink available, but there's still a fight going on the top lane with a huge mosh pit onto 2 members, and the Twilight Dream comes out as well, and immediately Anubrak has fallen, but Leo goes down in response because the keep is still there, threatening them. Tassadar chases onto the Jaina, but there's the roots that comes out from Penelope, threatens Sunny, so she will have to step back for now, and of course they still have to deal with the lanes in the mid and the bot.
Yeah, and we have this bot lane pushed out so hard. Valor does go down, and this is going to help for Probius as they're losing structures left, right, and center. As this mid keep is falling a little bit low to these excess minions right now. There's still a Web Weaver phase to take care of, but with no gems now on the side of the red team, this could be a big turnaround for them. They've been in this position before against Project Kramer, where they've just been behind, with Hat holding on enough gems to almost have a whole turn in by himself. He's going to look to try and offload those soon.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the priority number 1 here for Food for Probius, is get those gemmies in particular, as you said, by Hat. And in fact, Hat's doing that right now, and looks like he will be allowed. And in fact, the whole blue team's going to get their turn-in done soon enough. Yes, there's a little bit of pressure on that top lane. I think Complex deliberately gave that, and Complex's plan is to wait for 20 here. They're only 1 level away, and so their game plan is let these Web Weavers bring some XP to us on a plate. We'll gobble it up, we'll get that level 20, and then we're going to see who's going to be laughing. And I'm sure Complex are very excited about their position right now. They're 1 keep up and 2 forts up, but the 2 keeps that they haven't got are pretty close to going down as well. So if they ever get a boss, if they ever get a pay in, they will be able to march core with it, and that's something that of course Food for Probius will be very, very keenly aware of right now.
Yeah, Fizz is staying back right now on this Brightwing, sort of using his global pressure, but knows that White Tiger was so instrumental in keeping him from porting that caused a couple of kills for Food on the side of Complex. But this time he's there. He's going to look to port in when necessary. Baby Houdini looking maybe once again for that into, but not yet, as level 20 is not yet here for them, and that Buried Alive will be so impactful. But they're looking to get as much push as they can. They're trying to put the pressure on this keep to equalize the keeps lost, and especially in this top lane where they could be taking the boss. But no, you see them just poking away. Steady as Baby Houdini once again looking for the tomb, threatening it, pushing them back.
No, but the thing is, of course, Complex are thinking we don't even care that much about the keep. What we care about is level 20. Complex so close to that level 20. They're just waiting for that to pull the trigger. Here it comes. They've got the level 20 talents coming in now. You can see them on screen as ETC slides in. Looks for Sunny. Gets the mosh pit. There's Sunny, but she immediate phase shift from Brightwing. Saves Sunny alive. Can they get in the bunker as well? She's rooted though by the Ring of Frost. The silencing and tomb for Baby Houdini. It's hit onto 3 members. It's an absolute car crash here. Fizzy hides in the ice block for a split second, but it's not going to save him for much longer. Now they're chasing here. Lyric going. They want to catch onto Blaze. They want to catch onto a Nubrak. Transparent. Is it all over?
It could well be, but Jam is holding as much as can, but no, the Astral Communion from Malfurion means that she is taken down. It is just Hat and Gippy left to the defense, and it looks like Complex is going straight for this boss. This could leave a small opportunity for Food for Probius, but it is almost all over right now as Complex have everything they need to end the game.
What a disgustingly good engage here. Of course, that entomb from Baby Houdini was crucial, but the mosh pit to set everything up onto 1 member. Again, Fizz was perfect with the phase shift to save there onto Sunny, but it just didn't matter in the end because Baby Houdini was there for the follow-up with that entomb. Absolutely disgusting. Penelope dropped the Ring of Frost, so of course when they were rooted they couldn't get into that bunker. Absolutely devastating here from Complex. Surely this is them going all the way. Yes, all 5 members of Food for Probius are going to be alive, but they're not going to be level 20. And of course, this boss is full health, marching directly on that core. Lyric's already out there. The Entomb's available already again, by the way. So Lyric can even use that just to keep people out. There's Blaze in the bunker. Silence. Phase shift isn't going to be in time. Blaze is going to be dead. This looks like it's probably going to be GG game number 1 going over to Complex here, Transparent.
Yeah, the core is slowly falling. That boss is pummeling away. Complex have come back for revenge of the Nexus Rumble as we see that Complex will take game number 1 as the core slowly falls to the DPS that they have. GG, well played. 1-0 to Complex.
I mean, wow. What a finale to that game. And you know, it was a back and forth game. It was a back and forth game, Transparent, but Complex did seem to have that edge. And I mean, that final fight here from Complex, you've got to say, what an incredible performance from them. That showed real team fight coordination, real strength of engage. And it was the second they got level 20. We didn't have time to read out the level 20 talents because they got level 20 and bang, they were in. ETC all over the Tassadar, just trying to secure the first kill that they could. Snowball it into more with that Entomb. Beautiful play there from Complex, and in particular by Snowby there and Baby Houdini.
Yeah, absolutely stellar performance from them. As they knew that level 20 would bring Twilight Archon for Sonic, so pulling the trigger just that bit early just shows that the level we have in the top side of Division 2 in Heroes Lounge. Yes, if you're joining us, this is the Heroes Lounge Nexus Rumble. It's been a weekly series of winner stays on. And Food for Phobias have been the winner for 7 weeks, but now Complex, having a little bit of revenge here in our Rumble Rewind special, are pulling out the stops, and they've got the 1-0 advantage now as we go towards game number 2, where Food for Phobias have to decide will they want map pick or will they want first pick. They're not often in this scenario, but they've been doing so well. Oh, it's getting super tense here, Karis, and the level of play is phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, and by the way, it was a close. Okay, so structural advantage Complex had most of that game, and that ultimately is probably what ticked them the extra XP to get them that level 20 earlier, because of course they'd had those forts giving them that trickle for about 10 minutes. That turns into a level, in that sort of in a few minutes. So that was great play from Complex there in terms of the structure. But in terms of kills, it was neck and neck right up until that final fight. The damage was even as well. And of course, early game, that phenomenal aggressive style. You get the Anubrak burrowing, you get the Blaze jet propulsion, which always feels like you've been hit by a bus, but especially if you've got that follow-up CC from the Anubrak Impale and the Brightwing Polymorph. You love to see it. You love to see that kind of aggression here from Food for Phobias.
Yeah, and of course you have to sort of mention that they were doing a little bit of a role swap, maybe just a little bit of a surprise. They might do it next time, or they might think, right, we're gonna take this properly. We're gonna show Complex we know what we're doing. They're just having a little bit of a pause, taking stock. But yes, yeah, if you're joining us, we're Heroes Lounge as well. This isn't this has been a regular thing for every Sunday, but we have other things. If you've never heard of Heroes Lounge, it is an amateur Heroes of the Storm League where we have an EU Cup just ending at the moment. So if you're looking for a team or want to sort of play in this, you can do ! Sign up. I think should take you towards sort of a sign up guide. I'll just put that in the chat. Yeah, you should have that, and you can maybe get involved in season 14, which is due to start in early 2021, as in the first week of 2021. But right now we're in the Nexus Rumble, and these teams have been battling it out for quite a while. And this is our last week of the Nexus Rumble season 13. So who's going to be the ultimate champions after this game, especially as Food for Phobias now needs to come back with 2 maps? It's looking close.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for Food for Phobias, but I tell you what, if there's a team that's shown themselves to be a strong force in the Nexus Rumble, it's for Food for Phobias. 7 weeks back to back? I mean, how many weeks is that, Transparent?
That is between 4 and 8, I believe you told me earlier, and I know that you usually say the truth. So yeah, 7 weeks at the top, between 4 and 8, 6 and 8.
Well, it is also between 4 and 8. You're not wrong there. I wouldn't, that's absolutely true. It's definitely between 3 and 8 as well. So no, yeah. I mean, look, Food for Phobia is definitely a strong team, though. Seriously, I mean, and I think by no means should anybody in the chat count them out just yet. Yes, they dropped a map to Complex here, but they've dropped a map to Complex before and still won a series. I think Food for Phobias will still be feeling calm. They'll be still feeling confident. They threw in a little bit of a curveball.
Yes, just as I deserve.
A resubscription here from Heroes at School. Thank you for that. Thank you for supporting Heroes Lounge. We love to see it. We love to see a bit of support here for Heroes Lounge, and of course, it helps us run things smoothly. So thank you, Heroes at School, who is also one of our casters, and you can check him out at twitch.tv/Heroes at School. So, Volskaya Foundry for game number 2.
Yes.
Tell me about that, Transparent.
Now, this is super interesting, as Volskaya is a map where both teams don't really play, and it's often banned out by Food for Phobos because they just don't want to play it at all. But they've recently changed it up to ban out Ultrac Pass instead. So I am quite interested in how this is going to go down. Yeah, I mean, they're always banning it out, and Volsky Foundry is sort of something that Complex pick up a little bit, but don't play well on at all. So this is going to be quite interesting. As, yeah, if you don't play on this map, like Phobos does, you might not know all the rotations so well as a team. They probably know quite well in Storm League, but it's just something that they're not really used to. Whereas, yeah, Complex, they've been obviously failing a little bit in the main season, so it'll be interesting to see how they perform when under the pressure of the Nexus Rumble, especially when it's so close, so near for them to be crowned the champions at the end of Season 13.
Yeah, and it's been what a ride it's been for for both of these teams, really. Both of them having played a little bit in the Rumble, but of course Food for Phobos, been on top for so long. It's absolutely incredible. And of course we saw the lower Rumble earlier this evening, and that was sensational as well. A bit less close of a series maybe, although I mean had a really tense game one as well. And I think that will be up on our YouTube channel afterwards. If you want to check out, if you missed that and you want to check out, or if you want to check out any of our previous Rumbles, they should be all up on our YouTube channel. So just search Heroes Lounge on YouTube and you can get that there. And of course the VOD will be on this channel for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and if you like the Nexus Rumble itself and want to get involved in next season, just feel free to shout about it on our Discord channel. Yep, I'm just going to put ! Discord in our chat. So if you're not a member of our Discord, you can come and say, hey, I enjoyed the Nexus Rumble. Maybe I'd like to be in a team to participate next season, as quite often it's good to hear the passion of people like Food for Phobos were, like Norweaklings were. They were always shouting about the Nexus Rumble because it is so much fun to partake in and also watch. Some might say it's the most innovative and exciting games of Heroes of the Storm that we have at the moment. But yeah, we've had a great old time. Now, yeah, I mean, I want to hear all the feedback of the Nexus Rumble, if I'm honest, bad or good. If you don't like my face, that's okay. You go say in the Discord that I don't like Transparent's face. It gives me nightmares at night whenever I have to watch the Rumble and see his face. That is valid feedback for me. We've just had a grand old time. And after 11 weeks, these teams have been coming through and through. Volsky Foundry has actually never been played in the Upper Rumble, I've just noted, Karis.
Volsky has never been played in the Upper Rumble. Okay, that's...
Never been played.
That is interesting, actually. I mean, it's like the second most picked map in Heroes Lounge normally in the normal division stages. Okay, Battlefield of Eternity is taking a bit more of a popular streak recently, but yeah, that is surprising. I don't know why that is. I mean, lots of different ways to play it as well. Of course, we'll see how these teams go with it as we head into the draft. In just a second here on Volsky Foundry. I mean, what sort of draft might we expect to see from the two teams here on Volsky?
Well, I imagine we'll see a Chromie banned out against Complex, as Penelope is well known on that Chromie, or picked earlier. Okay, the draft of Volsky Foundry is just beginning now.
Yes, so we are here on Volsky Foundry, and hopefully we will be able to see what these teams are going to pick here as we go into the draft here. I mean, what do you think they should pick? That's a different question, of course.
What should they pick? Well, it's an interesting thing, and I quite like a good old brawly comp, like an Oriole or something like that. It's not necessarily perfect, but it can do incredible work, and a double support does work very well. I expect we might see a Zarya come out from Food for Phobos if they're feeling a little bit spicy, as that's something that could go well. Or even my Ev, if they want to make me even happier. That's what I want to see.
And in just a minute, we'll be able to see some bet. You'll be able to bet on who you think will win game number 2 in this best of 3 series. You can bet virtual points, which mean absolutely nothing, and you can type !bet space A space a number to bet on Food for Phobos, or !bet space B space a number to to bet on Complex. And if you want to know how many points you've got before you decide to bet, you type exclamation mark points, as Medivh gets banned once again, as does the Tracer.
Yep, the Tracer being banned out is fairly standard, as well as the Medivh not being let through, because there's a bit of a pact as well for Food for Phobos that if Medivh gets let through and is picked, Jam gets to play Lili. So perhaps Complex don't want to play against Lili either. And there's the Chromie ban I was talking about. And someone in the chat is saying that ETC needs to be banned, otherwise Sonny will pick it up. So will Complex go for that ban, as she has proven to be so good on the ETC? But after that roll swap earlier, maybe there's something fishy going on for Food for Phobius, and they're looking forward to this ETC ban.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's yeah. Of course, Snoby was so strong with that ETC last game, but yeah, that is, of course, they had to do it to deny it from Sunny. But that's the problem is, of course, you leave other heroes open as well, and there's plenty of options here for Food for Phobius. And there's different ways they can play here on Volskaya Foundry, but we will expect some of that brawly style, like you were saying, maybe with Dekod or Oriel for supports for, you know, huge sustain value. Last time we saw a Brightwing get picked up very early for Food for Phobius. I don't think we'll see that prioritized as highly here on Volskaya Foundry. Do you, Transparent?
No, not quite as much. She does still do well on this map, and she's been sort of peaking in the meta, but it can be a little lackluster, as these fights can go on quite some time. And although Brightwing sort of has a little bit of sustained healing, it does start to drop off as Poke comes out. Quite like sort of those faster fights where the healing gets a little bit of value, and you have that big phase shift as well as the shields, the pixie dust. But here we go, Break Raven and Penelope picking up Tychus and Deckard Cain. I really like the Tychus here. That shows some good stuff. Looking to maybe pick up that Commandeer Odin as you get to level 10.
Yeah, and of course that Deckard I was saying gives you a lot of sustain for those long kind of objective fights, and it's really good on point control as well, with the triangle and the square, as they are sometimes known. Joanna and Greymane picked up in response here by Food for Phobius. Hat on the Joanna maybe is another bait that they're going to do a role swap, or aren't they? Or, I mean, talk to me about that, Transparent, because I can't tell whether they're really going to play their normal roles or whether this is mind games, or, you know.
I think it might just be mind games now. I think they'll swap back. I'm feeling like they will, just because, yeah, they bamboozled them with the first one, and now with this one they're picking off the roll on the off-roll heroes. It's like, oh, we're doing it again, guys. Maybe we'll bait you into picking your off-roll, and then bam, we'll switch back. It's a bit of the fun that you can have in the Nexus Rumble. You know, it's an entertaining series, and with Anna being now banned out against Phobius, they could be looking to keep these mind games up. They'll be wondering what they're going to ban against the tanks, and it's going to be Diablo.
That's a nice ban there, because Diablo is nice for engaging on these kind of tighter objectives, gets those wall slams, and of course Joanna's not so equipped to deal with that as an ETC or a Garrosh would be, and of course ETC is gone. By the way, could we potentially see like a Joanna offlane here, but from Hat? She's got the wave clear, and if she goes Falling Sword, she might have that kind of super divey style that you might like from an offlaner. Do you think that's one way they might go?
Yeah, it could well be, but we see Imperius being picked up by White Tiger here. Now that could well be a 4-man Imperius. So, yeah, we're seeing this coming out here, and I would like to see the Anduin for a possible Light Bomb Falling Sword combo coming out from Food for Phobius. So, maybe that is something that could go well. Yeah. This 4-man Imperius is very interesting, though. It's going to be a lot of pressure.
Well, surely they're struggling a little bit for wave clear, though, with only Tychus, Imperius, Tyrael. I mean, I suppose Tychus does have some wave clear, and so does Imperius, actually. And, well, they all have a little bit, so maybe the 3 little bits add up to a decent amount. But, you know, having that fast rotation without a mage, for example, might be difficult.
Yeah, but we see the last pick maybe coming in now. Baby Houdini has picked up Arthas. Yes, that is the 3 frontliners coming out for Complex with a Tychus to maybe try and shred down. So Hat is going to have a difficult time on this Zeratul as everybody swaps back to their appropriate heroes on the side of Food for Probius. Yes, it was all a bamboozle. The first game was the long con going into these drafts. Yeah, what do you think of this triple melee then on not just the rotations, because you said about that, but on the main fights?
I mean, on the fights, it's going to be, let's say, if you're going up against Zeratul and Li Ming, it does help to have 3 heroes who just can't die, like Tyrael, Imperius, and Arthas, and they're backed up by the Decad, of course. So the challenge, of course, for Zeratul here, played by Hat, is can he find Decad? Can he find Tigers maybe out of position with the support of that Greymane? Otherwise, I mean, that's just a wall. That's just an iron wall there. But we'll have to see, of course, how they do as we go into game number 2 in this best of 3 series.
Yes, and on the blue team, our defending champions who need to win 2 games back-to-back to stay as the champions of the Nexus Rumble. We have Food for Probius with Hat on Zeratul, Fazeev on Li Ming, Gippy on the Greymane, Jam on Stukov, and Sonny finishing off with Johanna.
And in the red corner, the challengers Complex once again with Penelope on Tychus, Snowbee on Tyrael, Baby Houdini on the Arthas, White Tiger on Imperius, and Break Raven on the old man with the big staff.
Yeah, and we're going to see some interesting stuff here. We've got Q build of Zeratul coming out as the level 1 talent, so we'll keep a close eye on Hat playing that. But the rest of the talents, there's a little bit of patience coming out as we wonder what all of these heroes may be, as Baby Houdini sits in the wings on the Arthas looking for that flank, tries to go in now for Sonny, maybe trying to get the route onto Jam instead, but no, White Tiger is the one impaling Sonny this time, as the rest of Food for Probius are looking to just stall while Hat plays the lane bot lane.
Yeah, and of course Baby Houdini will be in there. It will be in time to get that soak, but of course now Hat's rotating up, will threaten White Tiger a little bit, just chunk White Tiger down. Take a little bit of health off. White Tiger's already had to use their healing fountain to keep themselves topped up. So that will be back in time for the objective, but still, it's a resource. And in fact, White Tiger may be taking a bit of punishment here as we get a little bit of lag from one of the teams. So we're going to go quickly back to our beautiful faces as we wait for some technical issues to be sorted out. So, I mean, so far, I have to say the triple front line seems flimsier as we head back into the game.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot.
As we head back into the game, yeah, the triple front line seems a little bit flimsier from these than we were expecting them to, taking a lot of damage from that Li Ming Zeratul combo. I mean, and I was expecting, I don't want to say them not to have to care, but when you think Tyrael Imperius, you're not thinking the squishiest targets, and you've got a lot of sustain here coming out from Decad. But White Tiger on the Imperius has had to be careful.
Yeah, and you do, because he's not super tanky until level 7 at least, and then level 10, of course, with your heroic ability after that. But he still dishes out a lot of damage, and that's sort of the important thing about him, is you're trying to kill them before they kill you. Yeah, we did have that little pause there. Thank you all for waiting. It wouldn't be a Food for Probius versus Complex game without a pause. But here we go. Now, the healing camp being picked up by Food for Probius with that additional rotational power that they have so long. It's looking to be very tough here, as the first objective is looking to spawn soonish. Will the teams be picking up their siege camps?
Yeah, and I think both of these teams will. So far, yeah, Food for Probius already there, getting the clock ticking on that. So far, Complex not moved towards it. There's still plenty of time, of course, before that objective. So nothing to be worried about there. And they, of course, Food for Probius haven't capped theirs as a result, just saving it for the right time when that objective spawns to get it rolling. At the same time, they're going to be contesting that objective. Complex, of course, still haven't picked up their siege camp, so they may head there now. Penelope on the Tigers going there now. And this is the kind of time I was saying they might struggle with the wave clear. It's not when they're 4 together, but it's when 1 or 2 of them have to go off and work on a camp. then you're left with maybe Tyrael and Imperius working on the wave clear. They might struggle a little bit, particularly if they get pressured out as melees by the damage that we've seen coming out from Greymane, and indeed also from Stukov.
Yeah, we do have the Bigger They Are coming out from Tychus, which is sort of one of those talent tiers that you always look out for. Is it going to be in the rhythm? Is it going to be Bigger They Are? Or is it going to be Master Assassin, which has been changed recently to be sort of fairly okay. But it's Bigger They Are, so they're looking to chunk down one target in particular, which is absolutely what their composition is all about. So now we go into that first objective phase. After this sort of off-lane clearing and stuff, like you said, the weaker on, this is the bit they're hoping to win. They're hoping to win the objectives harder, better, faster, and stronger as the red team take control away from Futhophobius.
Yeah, they are nicknamed Daft Punk for a reason, and Arthur steps back here because there's a lot of volleys coming out from Li Ming. So one of the advantages, of course, of Li Ming against that triple front line is she takes Triumvirate at level 4, and that means she's got orb. She sits back, throws orb, and it's, you know, there's always front line to hit and just reset it. Get that, you know, get some poke damage, and only when they're low enough will Greymane and Zeratul pull that trigger, and Li Ming teleport in, get that calamity value.
But we see the red team now looking to go in the gate. Sonny here not disrupting the front line, looking to disrupt the back line instead, but there is no back line right now. The Stukov silence is huge, but that has exposed her as White Tiger takes out the kill. The kill back on Tychus, and Sonny's looking more dangerous. White Tiger's chasing them down, but Hat and Fazeev in the back line trying to get as much damage as they can. But with all these big tanky things, they're struggling so hard desperately to try and get these kills. Yep, Futhophobius had to drop the healing thing, and Zeratul is going to go down as Complex are taking this
Sonny
fight with ease right now.
Sonny as well. And Fizz maybe as well? Is White Tiger just getting free real estate here? What? White Tiger just walking around in the enemy fort, taking names like an absolute boss here. White Tiger with an absolutely enormous spear, thrusting it deep into the enemy. And I'm not sure they enjoyed it. Beautifully played here from Complex, doing exactly what they needed to. Punish the Zeratul comp early, get that initiation, invade the camp, and of course, yes, it was a huge silence from the Stukov here, from Jam, but it just, what, you know, that, of course, as you said, left Stukov a little bit vulnerable. Yes, they got a counter kill, but 3 for 1, they're going to be very happy with that on the side of Complex.
Yeah, and overtime now for the objective. Red team just need to push the blue team away. Sonny's going to be very vulnerable here by herself, being surrounded by the 3 front line, looking to close her down. But Baby Junior's falling low and low. That silence is devastating, but Johanna is the first to go down. Hat is getting lower and lower, and Red team are going to take this first objective as they chase down Gippy for more kills, but no, they're just going to get this Protector, and what they do with this Protector is now up to them, as no tank on the blue team for 10 more seconds. They're looking to get this front wall and probably the top well.
Yeah, so front wall is going down pretty swiftly, although they have taken a little bit of time on those towers. But yeah, everyone on the blue team just getting in position at the top lane, just trying to minimize the damage that's going to come in from this Protector, because of course it's not just a Protector, it's also a level 10 advantage now for Complex, marching into that top lane. Knocks the Stukov away, just wants to get to work on that well. Greymane says you're going to have to take some damage for that, but of course they are definitely going to get the healing count in, and probably this second tower at the bottom as well, giving them yet more XP lead as we take a look at the XP numbers here.
Yeah, 24 seconds left on that Protector, but it was taken down by Hat very quickly. Yeah, level 10 just around the corner for Futhophobius, but with Odin Sanctification and so many survivable heroics, it's going to be even tougher now to kill anyone on the side of Complex. It's not looking good right now for our current champions, Futhophobius.
Well, they have got themselves to level 10. The swipe's used to try and control that objective there. Hat has to blink out, though. Has the VP available. Can use it to protect... Oh, the sleep, though, from the stairwell and is from Deckard. Puts everyone to sleep, and in comes the massacre to follow. But hang on, Tyrael's gone down. Will explode into Li Ming's face. Li Ming has to get out of there because the Odin's putting him out a bit of damage. It is 3 for 1, though. Beautiful, beautiful stairwell and listen here from Break Raven on the Deckard Kane.
Yeah, the blink away from Zeratul as if falling a little bit lower just meant that he couldn't get the perfect VP he wanted to be able to counter perhaps the Sanctification or maybe some of the other heroics of Complex. But now, Complex looking to take some siege damage. You're talking about they don't have the rotation, but you don't need the rotation if you just win fights and then auto-attack forwards. That is exactly what they are doing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, a lot of it, the VP was not used, so a lot of this game will come down to the mind games between the VP and the Sank, both of which kind of have the potential to deny each other. So we may see that mind game play between the VP and the Sank, between the Zeratul and the Tyrael. that in that fight, it didn't really matter because the stay a while and listen was so good from Break Raven. It just stopped Zeratul from being able to come in, and that's the way of the game so far. But later on, that is something that both of these players will be aware of, and of course, the whole teams have to play around those two absolutely impactful heroics as Tyrael has to run away there.
Yeah, I really wonder what sort of thing that Fufaphobes can pull out. They're rotating around now, they're looking to try, but they're a level behind. You can maybe try and get some additional siege damage in the offlane with that sort of grey main, just sort of solo pushing a lane would be an advisable strategy for them, as they're not looking to do very well in these team fights for now, but picking up as many camps as they can, and Complex are rotating as quick as they can as well. So it could all be even Stevens just before this second objective phase.
It could well be even Stevens, as you say. So maybe not quite even Stevens, because they will have a one level advantage on the side of Complex, even though as you say, Futurphobius will be even on talents, and those level 13s are already in for Complex. Let's have a look at them. In fact, as we have, that's the stuff for Tychus, getting that minigun healing, which you can, of course, force by pressing the Odin as well. Holy ground from Tyrael, so looking to deny areas, not going for the old switcheroo, looking for that holy ground to maybe deny steal camps, maybe to control entrances very tightly to objectives. That's a skewer from White Tiger. Look how deep they're diving here. Oh, but there's a VP. That's going to potentially set up White Tiger and Penelope to be executed while their teammates look on from the sidelines. Penelope goes down without using the turret. The fort's cleaning up. This is an absolute car crash here from the Complex, and absolutely Fufaphobes want to chase, looking for more, but 4 kills for nothing here, Transparent.
Yeah, and that is exactly why Void Prism was considered the best heroic ability in the game for such a long time, and I'm pretty sure it still is considered that, but Zeratul's just fallen off a little bit, and yeah, it's just completely turned that fight around as they were able to get those crucial kills on the squishy side of things with the Tychus and the Imperius, and then able to clean it up with the follow-up CC from Johanna's Blessed Shield. So very well done here for Fufaphobes as they are angry. I want to take back this game number 2 here in the Nexus Rumble.
This is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you've got to give credit to Hat for that Void Prison, which just left Imperius and Tychus like, uh-oh, we don't have any friends anymore. And it was a very lonely place in Void Prison lockdown for them. So, yes, that was very difficult for Complex to deal with. I can't help but think they were a little bit ambitious in diving behind the fort to go for that kill in the first place, because, you know, if they got the kill, yes, it's fine. But if they don't, if the fight goes badly, you've got no retreating points. As they found out to their peril, the fort just started shooting at them. It was a world of hurt for Complex there. But of course, they wanted to make this aggression early game before Zeratul gets completely online.
Yeah, level 16 just round the corner for them. That is when this Q build will do even more damage and get that reset that he desperately wants to get. And there it is. The red team thinking about backing off. Break Raven still on the point for now as they try to eke out every little bit of percentage. But no, blue team are here. Their Blessed Shield is so much of a threat. They're backing out, looking once again for that. But the Blessed Shield misses, as well as the Singularity Spike that Zeratul wanted to engage. That's going to be a big cooldown that will give the opportunity for level 16 to come here for Complex.
But 85% on the clock. So they've got to do this very soon now, Complex, if they're going to contest it at all. Of course, they don't have to. They can give this objective 99%. The objective goes over to Fufaphobes, but now the fight starts. They do have the level 16s immediately there. Those talents have been picked up, and now Arthur's looking to chase. Pops the Army of the Dead, wants to walk onto the enemy backline, but the Protector has been picked up by Stukov. She's going to start putting out some damage. Hat, though, falling pretty low, gets punished here by the Arthurs and the Tyrael, who can chase almost indefinitely. White Tiger skewers in, catches onto Kramen. He could hide in the Protector if he wants to, but it's going to be difficult for him to get in there while White Tiger's in his face, and they will step back for now, having just lost Zeratul.
Yeah, this is sometimes a little bit of a dilemma that you have on Bosco Foundry. Who should get in the Protector? Because you usually want the healer to be able to heal things, you want the tank to be able to CC people, and the DPS and want to do the damage. And there is the CC coming out onto Sonny as they look to shred her down with a big VR, but with 1,000 HP and with the fanaticism, she is able to get away. Beautiful stuff here from Sonny. Gibby's now the main focus, and perhaps aggressively jumping onto White Tiger a little bit too hastily. But the blue team not able to get a lot with this Protector right now, as they lost the hero in the team fight, and just looking to get some extra XP and maybe get the rail down here in the bottom.
I mean, beautifully engaged from Complex. The timing of that engage was so pitch perfect. If they'd waited 10, 15 seconds before engaging after that protector was picked up. Then they would have 2 people in the protector. They would have got the the right choices of people in the protector. As it happens, Jam had to just get in the protector to stop it, to have somebody in there at all. Oh, as there was a pick on to Imperius, which I didn't quite catch in the top lane there, by Greymane and Zeratul. So nice little pick up there. They will punish the Imperius there, who again has shown a lot of aggression here, and we do love to see this level of aggression, because of course it was Phobos who showed that aggression in game number 1. Now with this Imperius and Tyrael and Arthur's front line from Complex, they're the ones bringing the fight to Phobos, and it's usually going pretty well, as we saw at that protector fight, but sometimes it has backfired.
Yeah, and now the item advantage has gone over to Phobos. They have 2 turrets, they have 2 healing camps. They've got 1 more turret that they can pick up. This aggression, Imperius being down is exactly what they want. See a bit of banter in the chat here from these teams. They do know each other incredibly well, so this is why they are doing this. Why the Nexus Rumble is so important for them. It is this match that they can have. They can style on each other. They can maybe take it that extra tension, bringing this match. And Baby Houdini having to pop the army dead just for the safety is going to be a big cooldown that Phobos are going to look to take advantage of later.
Yeah, and that is, I think that was a really nice little fight from Phobos. Just bait out that army of the dead, and now Baby Houdini has lost a lot of survivability as they will have to start retreating for now.
Yep, it looks like Phobos may be looking to position a little bit more aggressively. Blessed Shield has been popped though. This means that key engage from them is now down. Those extra 49 seconds now mean that they can't quite walk in like they want to. Scouting for that possible chance to do the Void Prism. Baby Houdini's there, zoning out those Tempest winds, forcing the hat to be revealed, and he's getting lower and lower. He's going to have to pop the VP on the backline as the rest of Phobos look to try and get the engage, but no combo hits here from Fazeev. And now, here comes the stair. One Lissel, the unstoppable being popped on Jimmy. Jam is now putting danger. She's had to pop the healing. There's so much damage going on the backline. His hat is falling lower and lower as well. These teams just going left, right, and center. Who is going to be the first to fall, Karis?
It's hard to tell. They're chasing Baby Houdini now, who of course does not have the army, and there's no sanctification available. Army's up in 5 seconds though, so that's not that long. But of course, Baby Houdini is really struggling for mana, and you need mana to press it, and of course to coil yourself. Baby Houdini. That was an escape there by White Tiger on the Imperius, who was hiding in that bush, and suddenly a Li Ming volley came in just as the Hearthstone connected.
Yeah, and that is one of those risky Hearthstones that just feels like it pays off. Extra bit of style points as well, but looking for this engage. There is the use of the singular so by putting a bit of poke onto Break Raven, and there's the Blessed Shield. This is going to be a huge blow up. Yeah, the opportunity seized by Sonic. Really well played here from Phobos. Gibby's now a little bit of danger, but he's going to be rolling out no problemo as they try to take control of this bottom. This bottom 4, and the objective just spawning.
Beautiful play here from both of these teams. I mean, it's so back and forth in some of these fights. 8 kills to 9, but the level 20 does come in first here for Phobos. They're getting those level 20 talents in straight away. You can see Shadow Mending done from Zeratul. He wants to be able to flirt a lot more with the backline of the enemy. Now, Jipping on this Greymane, got to be careful here. Does have a turret to lose if they go down. There's a Roots from Arthur's. Swipe comes out from Jam. Says, no, we're not having a fight when we're not all in position. But that might give a little bit of a window here for those level 20 talents to get picked up by Complex.
Yeah, the Flailing Swipe upgrade on level 20 is just so good. You just have the biggest amount of control, and 3 charges of it means that you're almost always safe. But Complex using this opportunity where they don't have level 20 to pick up the support camp instead, and now Phobos realizing that they're doing that, they're going to put a little bit of extra pressure on here. While Sky Foundry is looking to go the way of Phobos right now, but it's not all over. Level 20 is picked up now for both teams, and they're looking to put the pressure on here, but Complex quickly closing in as the Protector is not yet fully channeled. We see the engage here from Sonic. That's a beautiful engage. Gippy have the turret as well. They're falling lower and lower. Jam is falling low as well. Can she swipe her way out of this one? But she's falling at 500 HP. She's at 100 HP. She goes down. Penelope is looking low as well. Both teams falling so low, and 20 HP left on Penelope. Fazeev is trying to finish off these heroes. Karis, this has been a bloodbath.
It's not even over yet, by the way. Transparent White Tiger still in there, trying to punish Fazeev for going so deep. But Yeah, I mean, that was 4 people, and yes, it's 3 kills to 2, but there's also a protector here. Zeratul was still on that objective, channeling that objective while all of that was going on, bringing the objective in, wants to escort this all the way to victory. There's 2 people in there, Zeratul and Chuan. Of course, Fizz always threatening to get some kills. As we've just seen, presses the medallion here, nice little play from Fizz. He may well end up going down, but it won't matter because his protector is still going all the way to core. It looks like Transparent is going to be GG, well played, to Food for Phobius, equalising this series.
Yeah, Hat getting out the protector just to finish off Baby Houdini. Standing odds as we have 1-1. This last Nexus Rumble is going to a game number 3 with Complex and FIFA Phobius. I wouldn't have had it any other way, Karis. GG, well played.
Absolutely incredible performance here by these teams. I mean, what can you say? I mean, so back and forth, and Complex looked so dominant in the early game here. It's almost the reversal of what we saw in game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. In that game number 1 on Tomb, we saw Food for Phobius with a really aggressive, heavy frontline style, going in, getting picks, really punishing, and then we saw Complex in the late game just straighten up and say, no, we're going to punish this, and we've taken a bit more structure and stuff. In this, we saw Complex in that early game with that incredibly aggressive style of Imperius, Antirial, and Arthas, and the damage that was coming out from them. White Tiger, by the way, 38k damage, the highest damage on Complex. And then, as the Zeratul got later and later, just kept causing more and more panic in the backline of Complex, and forcing more resources, and of course that left Fizz unattended there on the Li Ming. And in that final engage there under the core, managed to clean up.
Yeah, and just those engages from Sonny, just walking forward to saying, look, these guys are out of position over there. We're going straight over there. Yep, behind the keep. I'm saying behind the keep. We're going there, and beautifully done. The follow-up from Jam, just securing these kills. Oh, so
it's not
well
even
done.
just behind the keep. It's behind the keep without your Zeratul. Who's, you know, like that's normally like the person you've got there to finish the kills. But no, Blessed Shield, the silence and the roots coming out from Stukov, and suddenly, bang, you've got 2 kills out of nothing because the Li Ming is there with such razor-sharp volleys on top. And that, for me, you know, that's very much the difference between an average Li Ming player and an absolute top Li Ming player, is always being ready with the volley on the right place at the right time, always securing that kill, not just putting out continuous poke or whatever, being there to say bang on the right target at the right time. Beautiful play there from Fizz, but of course credit to the whole of Food for Phobius, who looked absolutely incredible as a team, particularly the VP play from Hat.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we go into a third map. This is incredible. I'm not sure what Food for Phobius will do. Will they go for the bait of, oh, we're going to play on the wrong heroes again, or will they just pick it standard this time? Oh, it's looking feisty. It's looking so feisty, and I can't wait to get this map pick. Complex are going to choose it. They're just not quite sure which map just yet. Which map could they possibly challenge Food for Phobius? This is heating up. And after seeing Hat once again on Zeratul, his all-time favorite hero, I believe, it's going to be tough to know what to ban against Food for Phobius.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you do? It's like, they've got to... That's the problem. That's the problem that... Well, that's one of many problems that Complex are facing, is Food for Phobius have got they've got quite a few different ideas going on, and potentially devastating hero picks that can change the game completely for Complex. So Complex have to kind of ban those and keep an eye on how to deal with the others. But I don't know. I mean, maybe just return back to basics as Complex did in game number 1. Play solid. You know, they had a normal draft. They played it solid. They had the ETC that controlled a lot. Of course, the first pick is Food for Phobius again here in game number 3, because the map has been picked by Complex, hasn't it, Transparent?
Yes, it has indeed. And it is Infernal Shrines, the lounge favorite. Yeah, it's going to be a great one, because here, you know, maybe there could be some top tier picks. Maybe the Kerrigan will finally come out now. It's been unbanned. The bug has been fixed. Maybe some extra stuff. Maybe Medivh will be let through finally. Or maybe we'll see that Diablo from Snowbee banging people against the walls harder than ever before. take them down. But this is it, the last map of the Nexus Rumble, first ever season, series, whatever we're calling it. I should know. Yeah, this has been fantastic so far, and it's come down to map number 3, Food for Phobos versus Complex. I don't think these teams would have it any other way, and nor would I. This has been so exciting. If you're enjoying this, just keep in touch. You know, we will be doing another Nexus Rumble not too long away, probably starting in December, hopefully. Yeah, and just keep in touch. You know, if you think, oh, this is great, I want to take part in this, join our Discord, !Discord. It's the Heroes Lounge Discord. You can say, hey, I want a team to play in the Nexus Rumble. Find yourself a team, and we'll be finding out more about that later, I'm sure. But yeah, we're just getting the players warmed up. What sort of picks are you expecting here, Karis?
Look, it's Infernal Shrines. It's sometimes called the HOTS map because it is kind of an everything map. It's got a bit of everything, but nothing too dominant. You can play for the objective. You can play macro. You can play globals. You can play team fight. I think what we'll see is just normal picks from these teams. I think they're both just going to play their best. I don't think we'll see anything too spicy. I think partly because some of the spicier picks might get banned out. But, you know, just we're going to see an ETC tank probably if it's not banned in the first round. We might see a Joanna as well. Possibly Diablo here, very strong as well. But we saw that banned in the last game as well. So I think there's a lot of mind games that will go on in the draft. Other than that, I think these teams are just going to try to play standard drafts. You know, 2 frontline, 2 DPS, 1 healer. Maybe with a bit of zing in it, like a Zeratul, like a Medivh, like a Tracer. Who knows?
Yeah, and it looks like people are just getting themselves a quick drink for this last match, but we're going to be starting very, very soon. Oh, I'd love to see, you know, something a little bit spicy. Maybe the Butcher will come back. Maybe we will see that once again. Maybe that's what Food for Phobos had for me in store, but now Norweaklings pulled it under the rug for them. But yeah, these two teams are really going to feel it, and they're going to gloat in front of each other, I'm sure, after this. And that's the thing about the Nexus Rumble. It's all about the glory. There's no technical prize, but you get to go, walk away, and for the next few weeks go, hey, guys, you remember when we beat you in the Nexus Rumble and it was glorious? So we are having a grand time.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, this is the Upper Rumble. This is absolutely incredible stuff. These teams have been so electrifying throughout the whole of the Nexus Rumble. Food for Phobos, of course, the dominant champions so far. But look, Complex want to give it to them. They want to bring this fight as tightly as they can, and we'll have to see how they do.
Okay, both teams are ready, so we'll be heading into this draft. Food for Phobos once again with first pick. That's what they had last game, and that's the one they won. So, will first pick be the favor?
We are in Infernal Shrines, game number 3, the decider in this Upper Rumble series, the final one of the season. And of course, it is Food for Phobos with the first ban as we head into the ban phase. What's going to come out here? Is it going to be the Tracer ban?
It's probably got to be the Tracer ban. White Tiger has been impactful on this hero time and time again. Just yeah, you know, it really is. It's such a good hero that he plays, but it could be something that they have something in mind for. So maybe they'll let it through and pick that counter pick that they're expecting. But no, they're just thinking through the bans. Sometimes you use the time that you're given with the first ban. Just the plan. Right, we're going to ban this. What are we going to ban next? What are we going to first pick? That is exactly what they've done. They've banned up Tracer.
Yep, and I would not be shocked to see a Medivh ban in response here by Penelope. Just denying that away from Fizz once more. But they've also got to worry about that Zeratul, because hat on Zeratul that game, lovely.
It truly was. It was spicy, it was delicious, and but no, it's gonna be that Medivh ban once again. And we got the betting coming up. We got the betting coming in right now, hot and spicy. If you want to bet before they've picked the heroes, before you see who plays the heroes, you can bet now with !Bet A for Food for Phobos, or !Bet B for Complex. These two teams have been fighting out all season, both in scrims in the main season and in a previous Nexus Rumble, as we have the Nexus Rumble Rewind showing that who is going to be the boss today in map number 3 of the Nexus Rumble Upper Series.
Diablo banned out here. I mean, that's slightly surprising. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of ban options here, and I think Diablo is a very reasonable one. Very strong tank for the map. Snowbee, obviously, very good with the hero as well. So, not surprised, not totally surprising, as the ETC ban also somewhat expected. But there were other bans available. I wonder if we're going to see kind of tank choking maybe coming out from Food for Phobius, but it's early doors to be playing with that idea, and of course they may be looking to get that Zeratul in if they want that.
Yeah, they absolutely could, but they've gone for the Grey Main. The Grey Main priority. Grey Main is a great hero on Infernal Shrines. Obviously, good shrine clear, good camp clear, can often do those mid camps by themselves, as well as good shrine defense. I talk about this a lot on Infernal Shrines, and it's good to have a plan B. So if you lose that Punisher, Grey Main's got that auto attack damage that you can quickly shred it away before the enemy team breaks through your gates. But you see that tank choke happening once again, and it's the Johanna being picked by Snowbee this time. Sonny not given the opportunity, but Penelope gets her Chromie.
Yeah, I think Joanna's a really solid pickup in terms of tank for this map because of her ability to clear this objective, of her general brawliness that you like on this kind of sustained objective as well. And of course, Chromie is going to be devastating in the hands of Penelope here, so it's something to watch out for. Here's the Diva that comes in from Hat. Potential bombs here to control that shrine, control the objective there. And of course, you've got the Jam Stukov once more, which was so impactful in game number 2.
Yeah, and Diva is really good on this. Having that bomb blow up on the shrine just gives you that extra bit of control, much like Tychus has done with Odin, and also Alex Straza with her Dragon Queen. Yeah, Anubrak being banned out. We are definitely seeing a tank choke, and I imagine we might see Imperius picks up in the off or in the 4-man once again. They might try that here on this map. Unlikely to be in the off lane just because you need that wave clear on this map. It's just a bit too big. So wave clear helps with shrine clear as well. So it might be a Leoric from Baby Houdini if that's not banned out now.
Yeah, I think that'd be a solid pickup. I mean, of course, we saw the value of those entombs in game number 1 from Baby Houdini, who looked terrifying on the hero. So we may see that now. The Anubrak ban, as you say, the tank choking is a real thing. You've still got quite a few tanks left available. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Muradin, or if I'm being really naughty, I think we could even see something like a Blaze main tank with the Diva in the 4, and then pick another offlaner and have a sort of hybrid bruisery style front line. But I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a few different ways they might play this.
But we see White Main being picked up by Break Raven. Now, the supports were being targeted a little bit. That Anna being prioritized less in the early half and being banned out in the second phase instead. And this has meant that White Tiger gets the flex out that White Main, which is going to be crucial keeping Valor alive. A little bit like that. But no way. No, you didn't think of it. Karis, I'm lost.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the viewers wanted to see it. This is magic. This is absolute magic. Fizz on the Probius. We love to see it. We love to see it.
Yeah, for those not sort of filled in, Fizz detests Probius and dislikes the hero in general, and instead has for a treat as the final Nexus Rumble match. He's picked it up. He's put aside his differences and is now picking the hero he swore he would never play. But here we are in the Rumble. Probius is being played. We had the Butcher, we've had Artanis, and now Probius. This is a glorious day for the Nexus Rumble. And Gippy on their team is already calling I want out. But he can't. He's stuck in there with the Probius, with the Frobius. And yeah, he's got to try and win it now.
It's going to be absolutely incredible to watch this final game in this best of 3 series. And of course, Baby Houdini's Dahaka. We didn't even get a chance to talk about that. That'll please Samu in the chat for sure. We love to see a great Dahaka. Going to see some strong licking action, I'm sure, from Baby Houdini, who was so important in game number 1. And of course, now we'll have that global potential to get involved in fights as well. But wow, I mean, this is a really nice kind of point control AoE damage kind of draft coming out from Food for Probius. Probius and D.Va both going to control that shrine and clear them so fast. And of course, if the enemy dives looking for trouble, well, Chromie's going to find it hard to dive. And of course, Tyrael's Sanctification might have something to say about it. But let's of course see what happens as we go into game number 3.
Our champions. As I said earlier, they've been on for 7 weeks. They've been supporting the Nexus Rumble since the start. It's Food for Probius. Here in blue, we have Hat on D.Va, Gippy on Greymane, Jam on Stukov, Sonny on Tyrael, and best of all, we have Fizz on Probius.
And in the red corner, we have Complex with Penelope on the Chromie, with Baby Houdini on Dahaka, Brick Raven on Whitemane, White Tiger on Valor, and of course, Snowbee on Johanna.
Yes, and these teams are now going to have to decide what they can do in the early game, as now we see these level 1s being picked up. It seems that, yeah, there's a little bit of sort of thought, what are they going to go for? And the Probius has gone for Warp Resonance, so looking to try and get additional poke going away.
Yeah, and oh, D.Va gets licked in by Baby Houdini, gets a little bit punished as well with that Stukov silence from Jam. Absolutely devastating silences that come out, this time onto 3 members of Complex. So Complex will sit back, they'll just reset, lick their wounds, and get ready for this rotation, where I think their rotation power should be pretty strong with that Johanna Valor. Now they're looking to try and punish Jam being so far forwards, but no, nothing doing just yet, as of course White Tiger and Penelope focused on clearing those lanes and of course getting to work on the camp.
Yeah, and of course Jam's very well known on this Stukov as well, so she knows her positioning incredibly well. But what we don't see often is obviously this Probius, and seeing that, you know, he's not the most mobile. He's more of a setup hero rather than those rotations. So we'll have to wait and see how they deal with it. But he's pretty good at taking camps so far, and Fazib is a little bit further forward. He's trying to get there. Baby Houdini comes in with the tongue straight onto Greymane, and Greymane's falling lower and lower, and the shields come out from Tyrael, but it's not enough to keep Greymane alive as First Blood goes over to Complex on this game of Infernal Shrines.
That's the danger. That's the danger of playing against the hacker, and of course it's not even just that he might do that, it's that he's threatening to do that all the time. So in the back of the mind of Food for Probius for the whole game will be, is the hacker able to brush Stalker in and punish us if we're, you know, if we're in a 4v4 situation? Will it suddenly become 4v5, as happened there? Lovely rotation for Baby Houdini, already showing value on the dinosaur.
Yeah, and these guys, they've got to try and get the rotation back in. They've got to try and find the XP as White Tiger's coming in for the gank. Fazib is a little far forward on that Probius. The little probe that could is having to speed away as Jam is now being slowed by Snowbee. This Johanna gameplay coming out from Snowbee has got to show Sonny, as she's been trying so well in the first 2 games. Well, she wasn't playing Johanna in the first one, but yeah, you see Snowbee now on that action and slowing down Hat as he tries to keep up with the rotation that Baby Houdini has been putting on.
Lovely performance so far from Complex. Just being a little bit more swift in rotations, a little bit more in control of stuff, and that's partly facilitated by this hacker who seems to be all over the map all of the time. Partly because, by the way, building towards that enhanced agility race car, the hacker going to have a lot of movement speed, and that will allow the hacker to dive really far onto that Probius, onto that Stukov, and punish them when they want to just sit back and use the AoE value of Probius and the zoning of Stukov and D.Va with the bomb as well. So this is where the battle of ideas comes in, and it's lovely to see this kind of top level battle of ideas between these 2 teams. Both of them are at the top of their game, and yes, you've got the sit back and control the area with Probius versus the idea of we've got the hacker who's going to walk in with that enhanced agility. Oh, sidestep there, sidestep nicely by Fazib. And of course, it may be a battle of ideas, but execution is absolutely crucial here. And it's a lovely, lovely little dodge by Fizz. In comes the bomb from D.Va, and we'll start clearing the shrine.
Yeah, and now this means that they're 10 away from getting the shrine, but with no bomb anymore, this means that Hat is in danger, and that is exactly what Baby Houdini saw. He saw that Hat was no longer invulnerable from being picked off, and there we go, the mech is taken out. Baby Houdini's going forward, trying to get the tongue here onto Hat, and Hat is indeed taken down by the speed that Hacker is able to chase him down, but the shrine goes over to Food for Probius.
It does, but don't forget there was a Bruiser camp pushing top all this time for Complex, so they're not too worried about the potential push value of this Punisher, because they will be able to clear it, I think, fairly safely with D.Va being dead and Snowbee being fairly healthy here. And so once the Punisher's gone down, it's going to do similar damage, although maybe a little bit more. Oh, jam on the Stukov, nicely sidestepped, but has taken a lot of damage from White Tiger on the Valor, who's got free real estate there and manages to do a lot of work. Yes, this second tower will go down to the freezing field effect of the Punisher. So it's 2 towers for 1 tower in terms of trade, but of course it was also 2 kills in favor of Complex.
Yeah, and you know, this is a good defense for them. The rest of Food for Probes, they've got to think, where are they going to go? What can they achieve as well? As level 10s are just around the corner. We've obviously got our level 7s, and Chromie's wondering what to pick on level 8. She might be waiting for Tyrael to see if he goes Judgment or not. No, there's the Slowing Sands. We see Chromie picking up that just for the additional control, and I think that's going to be incredible value, especially against this Probius.
I think slows are one of the most underrated things in this in Heroes of the Storm, because people underestimate what 70% slow really feels like, and you'll know if you've ever been stuck in one of those slowing sands. It's absolutely relentless. It feels like you're rooted. It's just horrible to walk through. It's like walking through treacle, and of course that will be so important in stopping Greymane and D.Va from reaching Chromie when she wants to sit back and throw out her own volleys to rival those of Probius.
Yeah, and now we see that the red team taking control of the camps, looking to maybe get their way.
D.Va.
As we see Baby Houdini gets the tongue onto D.Va. D.Va has to pop the bomb early before the objective. That's going to be crucial. Well done here from Complex. Just getting that little bit of extra value. It's always going to be worth, as well as stopping the blue team from soaking to level 10.
Yeah, this is nicely done by Complex. Just asserting a little bit of control. Just saying the fact that the hacker is all over the map is absolutely crucial. And by the way, Hat, this time without a mech, gets found out in the slowing sands and punished to death by Complex. Beautifully done. They took their level 10 advantage and they played it immediately. Got themselves another kill. They're now 3-0 up. And as you pointed out, Transparent, there's no bomb available for this next objective.
Yeah, she's going to have to wait a long time as well to charge it up, as she's only just respawned. So, a little bit of an opportunity now for Complex to make something happen. They've spread around, soaking up another level, so they've got that level lead right now, and Valor's waiting on that level 10. Maybe this is the one they're thinking, Judgment or Sanctification. If it's Judgment, I'm going to have to go Rain. But no, Rain's been locked in, and so is Sanctification. So, a little bit of an interrupt possibly game coming in here. Hat once again positioning a bit further forward. They're going to have to see how can they get on this. As Probius is waiting level 10. Do I pick? What do these abilities do? Having a read of the talent descriptions maybe for Fizz to decide what the probe can offer.
Yeah, and I think both teams going to get that Bruiser camp. I mean, the level 10s are in now, both teams, so nothing too surprising here. I like to see the Scarlet Aegis from the White Mane. I think that potentially could save them from a bomb, don't forget, or from a large Probius massacre. Bomb and Warp Gate might be something that they have to really watch out for. As Hat steps in, that's a nice little time trap, just providing the space that they need.
Yeah, the minus armor that Chromie gives as well is going to help with that little bit of poke, but Snowbe's falling low and low. The tongue comes out on D.Va. She's not able to pop the bomb. She's going to get out of there, but the slow from the Warp Gate as well, and there's just being damaged, traded left, right, and centre, but White Mane is able to keep her team up. Sleeper is able to do the same to the blue team. Both teams just positioning around, but with this level lead, it means that, you know, Complex are just getting the advantage. But Triumph Minions are going over to the blue team. But Baby Houdini coming in with the big flank at the back.
Yeah, and he goes looking for the lick. He finds it, this time onto D.Va, but there's the Sanctification, absolutely enormous, followed by the swipes though. Maybe not quite what they wanted, but both teams wanted to save. In comes the bomb from D.Va, going to zone out all the members here of Complex, and they will have to sit back, and it's 24-5 on the Skeletal Guardians here.
Yeah, and with the cooldowns of the heroics of Complex coming back sooner than the blue team, this is going to be Hat once again goes down in the D.Va. She doesn't have the roll yet from level 13, but Baby Houdini is getting focused as well as Snowbee. But the stuns from White Tiger. This is going to be a crucial fight, and Sonny's falling lower and lower. Houdini's going forward, and now it's going to be Sonny taken out. This could be the crucial kill that Complex needs to take over this top shrine.
It's not over yet though, because it might be now. There's the tongue from Dahaka, just catching Probius in no man's land and licked all the way back to his lair for a thorough seeing to. Now, Baby Houdini steps back, going to take a fair amount of damage here from Hat, but it's just enough to zone all the members of Food for Phobia away and give the space needed to Complex to secure this next objective. And by the way, they've suddenly taken a sizable XP lead now. If we take a look at the XP stats, you'll see that they've got 3.6k of XP just from their hero kills. And that's basically constituting almost all of their 4k XP lead now for Complex.
Yeah, and there's some giant waves pushing in against them. So if they go and soak them, like Baby Houdini just did in the bot lane, they get even more XP, which is going to increase their lead. As Phobia are not yet in position to defend against this Punisher. We were talking about the defense, and they're just going to have to give up this fort at the top because there's no wall, because Houdini has just been pushing in hard at any opportunity.
It's lovely Dahaka play. We love to see this level of play from a Dahaka. It's absolutely dominant here on the map. It just feels like Baby Houdini is everywhere. He's got a finger in every pie, and I think every single one of these players on Food for Phobia is going to be slightly afraid that Dahaka is going to appear suddenly and give them the old lick. But this Punisher will be cleared before it can take down a keep. Hat in the back, thinking of taking a fight. I think they don't have the level 13 yet, so it's a little bit. They've got to be a little bit cautious here, and they will step back for now. Hat steps back, and Complex also retreating. Both teams want to reset and consolidate. Of course, Chromie technically has a talent advantage, but that's not sizable enough for Complex to want to force too hard. But look at that slowing Sam's control of the gate.
Yeah, they're doing so well, just making sure. There comes a Blessed Shield into the backline. Jam and Gippy being slowed by the Johanna, but here's the big bomb going onto that Johanna, but no, the 20 armor additionally. But Diva is the one going down from White Tiger in the back. You've got to be extra careful. White Tiger just could be hidden anywhere like a pouncing dragon.
Yeah, I mean, we're sorry we didn't even catch that on camera because it was so far away from the rest of the fight. Those two were having their own skirmish, and of course, yeah, that's the danger. Is Diva uses goes in to throw that bomb and may get punished by that serious damage output of White Tiger. If we take a look at the damage stats, you'll see White Tiger at 28k, Chromie at 30k. Applied by Penelope, so very close on the damage there between the two. Grayman on 28k as well on Food for Phobia, and Diva 27. So those 4 DPS all putting out a serious amount of work, and they've all got to be careful because a misstep by any of them means they may well die.
Yeah, and this means that, you know, they've just Complex have gone straight for this bottom fort behind even the gate. They've gone to take it down as it's just something they can do on the map.
Haven't we seen that before? Transparent Complex going behind a fort.
Yeah, indeed, and but previously they were much more in danger, and this time they're able to get out. This level 16 lead is oppressive, and they're going to get to level 18 probably the same time that 16's picked up, and that's when Chromie gets her big advantage.
Yeah, and that is something, again, that it just feels like, but Baby Houdini, maybe he's been punished for being all over the map this time. Pops in the burrow, runs away, maybe able to get out here. White Tiger on the way, wants to provide a little bit of support, but can't quite get there without risking his own life. So has to step back for now, and it is a kill onto the hacker. That might be the window of opportunity that Food for Phobia needed to open to get themselves back into this game. Holy ground from Sunny, steps in, wants to step up, wants to punish Penelope, but the slowing sands are there. Penelope says, no, you're not coming anywhere near me unless you want to walk back in that treacle. Jam puts the silence there. They want to use the time that the hacker's dead to steal this camp, but they're still down 2 levels, Transparent.
Yeah, they are down 2 levels, and if this fight goes on long enough, Hacker will be able to burrow back in, but no, we see a lot of warp rifts being plopped down by Fazif here, trying to zone out as much as they can. White Tiger's in the back looking for Probius as well. He's going to be in danger now, but the rest of the blue team are getting focused. The Sanctification is beautiful, negating all the damage from Chromie. Has here dueling White Tiger for Fazif, but no, this means the face Snowy and Penelope are able to get a sort of a free reign, and that means the Probius goes down to the Valor damage.
Yeah, and now they're going to chase for more, looking for Sunny, who's down to 500 HP, uses the Eldruin to draw power a little bit, will be able to get away from White Tiger for now, but Jam on the Stukov falls low. Sunny comes in with a shield, just kind of to provide a little bit of space, puts a slow onto Joanna, but Joanna has Iron Skin to make her unstoppable. The slow won't affect. Jam falling pretty low, so is Sunny, but in comes Hat with the Diva, just tries to create a bit of space here, but gets caught herself. What is this damage? Hat's been absolutely destroyed here. The mech's been absolutely melted. White Tiger's come in pretty deep for it though, and we know that can get punished by Food for Phobia, but they don't have a Zero tool this game to help them set that up. And this time, they weren't able to punish that level of diving. Wow, what a back and forth fight here, Transparent. Absolutely incredible stuff from both of these teams.
Yeah, and all the while, we've had soaking and soaking and soaking from Baby Houdini on the Dahaka. If you look at the XP, he's got 15,000 XP. That's quarter of the whole team's XP. As
It's 6k
one
more than the opposing solo laner played by D.Va. That's a big difference, especially given that the total XP difference between the two teams is now 12,000. So that 50% of that difference is made up just by Baby Houdini's advantage over his rival solo laner. Absolutely incredible. Chromie, as you point out, has that level 18, has that 20 upgrade with the Piercing Sands now. So if the enemy team gets trapped, or if they clump for a Sanctification and then the Sanctification ends or is interrupted, then that Piercing Sands is just going to cut through them like some very, very hot needles. Tyrael gets jumped on by the Protector. Sunny's fine though. She has the Eldrune to jump out for now, but the Protector still looking very healthy here.
Yeah, and Hat is looking to maybe try and zone out. The Root coming in onto Valor. She gets the Unstoppable off now, but now the tongue comes in onto Baby Houdini, and Tyrael is just annihilated completely and goes down, uses the explosion for wave clear to try and defend, but it looks like it could be a good push here for Complex. They're looking to dive under this Keeper on the other side. So aggressive, and that's a lot of damage coming in here. This is a Mortar Punch. He's going to push a lot, and Complex are looking for the core. They're looking to take the Nexus Rumble Championship away from Phoebeus.
It's been 7 weeks. It's been held by Phoebeus for 7 weeks. Surely they won't give up without a fight here. This Punisher's nearly down, but the problem is the Tyrael's still dead. I don't think they can take this fight. Transparent is down to 30%. They want to go all the way. In comes the damage from Chromie. She's just hitting the core. Hacker's there, hitting the core. Silenced by Stukov, but it doesn't matter. It's too little. It's too late. It's GG. Well played. It's Complex who takes the Upper Rumble series.
Wow. Phoebeus finally topped right at the end, and Probius was picked. Perhaps that was the reasoning, that Probius being picked for Food for Phoebeus would be their downfall, whereas Complex are the champions. They take the series 2-1 after a little round swap in game number 1, a dead serious game number 2, and a Probe being picked right at the end. This has been an exciting series, and they deserve to be the winners, if I'm honest. Complex taking it really well in that game number 3. Karis, it was beautiful to watch.
I just can't believe the burst power that came out of Complex. Anytime somebody got rooted or slowed or something, just caught a little bit out of position, it looked like, like when the D.Va mech comes roaring past just to zone, and you think, okay, D.Va's going to take a few auto attacks here, and the mech just disappeared. Like the mechanical ability of the Complex players to deliver killing blows, absolutely razor sharp here from Complex. I have to say, incredible performance from them here in game number 3 and in game number 1 as well. Game number 2, they looked strong as well, but Food for Phoebeus were able to punish with some really incredible play from Zeratul and stuff like that. But wow, what a performance! You've got to hand it to Complex here at the Nexus Rumble.
Yeah, the Nexus Rumble. We've had a fantastic time here in the Nexus Rumble, especially the upper series. It's been really good all round. I mean, just to sort of, as I sort of called out, we've had plenty of teams, over 11 teams participate in the Nexus Rumble, and we've enjoyed every single minute of it. We've had stellar games every week, almost every week. There's been an incredible series to watch. Karis, I mean, I've obviously we've had some good things. I've just had a word in my ear from Tiny Owl Lounge that we might have some small prizes for some of the participants of the Nexus Rumble, as we've had some great entertainment here. Obviously, every Sunday it's been 19:30 CET, but next week we've got a few little bits, Karis, haven't we? If you could just fill them in with that.
Yeah. So next week we have the Heroes Lounge Rare Cup and the Heroes Lounge Epic Cup. Rare Cup on Saturday, whichever date Saturday is, and the Epic Cup on Sunday, the 29th of November. And they'll be running all day. That's the playoff days, because those teams are still in their group stages, and the top 8 teams from those group stages will go through to the knockout best of 8 tournament. And it'll be everything to play for those Rare Cup teams and the Epic Cup. And the subsequent weekend, of course, we'll have the Heroes Lounge Epic Cup and the subsequent weekend will be the Legendary Cup and the Heroes Lounge Mythic Championship. So that'll be the top teams from Heroes Lounge all together, and that'll be definitely one to watch as well, Transparent.
Yep, absolutely. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And if you've enjoyed the Nexus Rumble, make sure to let us know in our Discord, !Discord in the chat if you want to join that. And you can always join in other series, as it is season 14 is coming just round the corner for EU if you want to play some Heroes of the Storm in a more competitive environment. But as we've now approached the end of the Nexus Rumble, I've got to give my thanks to many of the people. Thank you, of course, to all the teams that have participated in both the lower Rumble and the upper Rumble, as well as you, Karis, Samu, and Aviator, who have cast so diligently with me almost every week, as well as obviously Tiny Owl and Cosmic for being the lounge chiefs, keeping us all in charge and allowing us to have this wonderful competition. We've had a great time here. And all the captains, of course, have been putting up with me asking, could you play with the Nexus Rumble this week? And then having to tell me no or not. This has been a great amount of fun. I hope everyone can tune in. Hopefully we'll be back early December. I've not yet confirmed the date of the next Nexus Rumble series, but I'll have a few changes, maybe a few more fancy bits in between if I can pull up my sleeves and get that all organized. But we've had a great time. I hope to catch you all once again in the future.
Yeah, it's been absolutely incredible, Transparent. Thank you as well for putting it all together. I mean, you've been kind of the central linchpin who are holding everything together. Absolutely incredible there. We did have, from Tiny Owl, a word, as you said, there will be prizes for the Rumble winners. There's like coasters and a hat. Sadly, I can't get a picture of those because I have technical issues, but they will get some Heroes Lounge branded stuff. So great to support the winners there for the lower Rumble and the upper Rumble. I mean, Food for Phobias will of course be disappointed not to have got the hats, particularly suited for hats, of course. But what can we do? They should have fought harder. No, they were actually incredible for 7 weeks of this tournament. So shout out to them for putting on a great show.
Yeah, it has been fantastic. And as I say, we've had a great amount of fun. All good. Thank you, everybody, of course, for watching and supporting and tuning in every week. We'll hope to see you again soon. But I'm sure we'll be passing over to CCL, which I'm sure many of you have already switched over to. So yeah, once again, thank you very much and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Not Jugs, it is indeed Water Dragon. Here comes the Lamb of Slaughter. It is Silence on Lily. There is the Invulnerable. The Sanctification putting out so much damage, able to get all of the blue team poked so low, but now they're escaping. Lily is trying to keep them up just with those Jugs on.
Step in. Joanna goes in. She has the Blessed Shield available. Tyrell's falling down to half health. He still has his Sanctification and he's ready to pop it when the time's right, but he doesn't want to get caught in a Grab Bomb or in a Blessed Shield and have it interrupted. So Tyrell just trying to flirt with the enemy at the moment and create space for his team to secure that shrine, and they have. And now Joanna's a little bit exposed. In comes the blind though from Artanis, perfectly timed to stop most of that auto attack damage from Joanna, but it won't stop the ball lightning damage. And there's a massive stun here from the Gazlo, but it's too little, too late. Artanis will fall as well. So there's 2 kills for nothing, and of course they've secured themselves that Frozen Punisher going in the bot lane.
With the blinding gun trying to slow down the retreat of the blue team, can Muteki get anything done? But no, with no stacks of hatred just quite yet, the movement speed wasn't available to chase. So the Diva Bomber here, the Johanna gets taken down by the Water Dragon. Azok is going to fall to the bomb, and there's the last rights on Artanis. That's 3 down. Cho'Gath is the only one left, and he's getting chased down by the red team. It looks like it's going to be GG as the Norweaklings head chase down the Cho'Gath and end it on the core.
It's indeed very likely to be GG at this point. There's 100% Zerg.